This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Even some few extra days of rest, not enough for Pirates ace Paul Skeens to pull out of his recent rough stretch. He gave up 3 runs, walked 4 batters in just 4 1/3 innings, pulled after 81 pitches today against the Tigers. Second straight start, he failed to exceed 85 pitches. Pittsburgh, though, rallied from a 3-1 deficit thanks to a pair of solo homers from Rafael Flores Jr. Tigers and Pirates tied at 3, bottom 10.
Now the set in the 1-2, swing and a drive. Deep right field. If it's fair, the Pirates will win this game. He's done it! Brandon Lowe wins it! What a thrilling come-from-behind win!
Final call on 93.7 The Fan of Pittsburgh's 4-3 victory. NFL Chargers center Tyler Biadasz, with damage to his ACL and additional injuries to his left knee, sidelined indefinitely, had an MRI, will meet with more doctors for additional clarity on the injuries. The Seahawks addressing one of their biggest question marks, planning to sign former Cowboys quarterback Trayvon Diggs to a 1-year contract.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Thursday, Justin Herbert and Jim Harbaugh have sky-high expectations heading into the season. So will they be able to live up to the hype? It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
It's a day that ends in Y.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
So another Saints player is hurt.
Hump day.
First, it was Brian Brzee.
It's hump day.
ACL.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Then it was Kendre Miller.
Hump day.
Back.
It's hump day.
Sure, somebody had a toe.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Can't go through camp without a toe.
Hump day.
And then it was Dylan Radens, Radens, Radunes.
It's hump day.
Rip.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
But he didn't die.
Hump day.
His 2026 season. Rip to his 2026 season.
It's hump day.
And then Cam Jordan.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
And then Jordan Tyson for 2 months.
Day.
And now Alvin Kamara's got a knee.
It's hump day.
He's out for a month.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Stop practicing
Hump day.
immediately.
It's hump day.
LSU practice last night.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Saw a lot in 12 minutes.
Hump day.
Can't wait to dish it all for you.
It's hump day.
Ross Jackson will be here.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Muse is back.
Hump day.
Muse people thought you got fired.
It's hump day.
No, just a little last vacation before football season.
Yeah.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Going to the beach during fall camp is an aggressive play.
Hump day.
What do you mean?
Officially
hump day.
starting a new policy for no more vacations once fall camp starts for anybody.
Mike.
That's
What
why
day is
you've
it, Mike?
got May, June, and July.
Hump day.
I went on vacation in June.
But Muse didn't get fired.
It's hump day.
He just went to the beach while we all worked really hard.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It was great, too, man.
All right, let's get cranking here. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
This Saints training camp sucks. Sucks a lot. It can't end soon enough. Get everybody back from Oxnard, put them all in bubble wrap, and just go sit in the indoor until week 1 against Detroit. I mean, this is stupid. We've already seen Brian Brzee tear his ACL. We've seen Dylan Radins tear his ACL. Kendre Miller's finally back, although he's been down with a back injury. Cam Jordan's out, maybe might linger into the season, as Kellen Moore told us. Jordan Tyson's going to miss 2 months, and now we learn Alvin Kamara is out with a knee injury. This camp cannot end soon enough. And a lot of the luster is being wiped off. The shine is fading with every passing day and all these injuries. And it's not that Alvin Kamara is the key to the Saints offense in 2026. Clearly, that's not the case. I mean, that's why they went and paid Travis Etienne $54 million, because they recognized Alvin Kamara is an aging, declining back. That's why they went through the whole contract situation with Kamara. He had 471 yards a season ago. He had career lows in attempts and yards per carry and touchdowns and all of it. So I'm not telling you you're relying on Alvin Kamara. But every time you lose somebody, everybody else has to move up a chair. So I like Audric Estime. Played 7 games for you a year ago. And down the stretch, actually looked pretty good. He averaged almost 4.5 yards a carry. First preseason game against Jacksonville, first touch after the 86-yard kickoff return. He bounced it outside of the left, got in the end zone. I think Audric Estime is a good back. But I really like Audric Estime when he's battling with other guys, with Ty Chandler, with Devin Neal, when he's battling with those guys, Kendre Miller to be the number 3. I don't like him so much when you tell me he's got to be the Robin to Travis Etienne's Batman. But that's what happens when everybody has to move up a chair here. I mean, there's another conversation, baked into this about Alvin Kamara, which, I mean, this just is at this point what Alvin Kamara is. I'm not blaming him for a knee injury, but it's just an undeniable thing. Alvin Kamara hasn't played a full season since his first season in the NFL. Played 11 games last year. He missed 6 games a season ago. He missed 3 games at the end of 2024. He missed 4 games in 2023. Missed a couple games in 2022. Missed 3 games in 2021. This is just what Alvin Kamara is. He's a guy that just hasn't shown the ability to stay healthy and play a full season. And so you need depth at running back. And I'm glad that they've added some veterans and maybe some young guys. We'll see if Devin Neal can stay healthy and maybe contribute. But every time you lose someone, it just moves everybody up a chair. So, it's the same we talked about with Jordan Tyson's injury. I can be really excited about Berrien Brown. But Berrien Brown, as a kick returner, punt returner, and your number 4 receiver, that's really enticing. Berrien Brown being your number 2 opposite Chris Olave, that raises a much bigger question mark. And I know there's a lot of people that want to sing Devon Vele's praises, and I hope he's awesome this year. But the bottom line is Devon Vele had 1 game last year. It was the game against Miami where he had 8 catches. 1. In his first 9 games, he had 6 catches. I mean, there's not exactly a large sample size of Devon Vele being awesome. So my point is, just like Olave Tyson as a 1-2 was really intriguing, Kamara not having to shoulder the load and being the change of pace, the counter back to Travis Etienne was really intriguing. Now you remove Kamara for a month, and you start to wonder, okay, well, what else is there? Well, everybody's got to move up a chair. It's really disappointing. I mean, we got to remember, this is I came into this training camp really optimistic about this team. I think they're at their best. I think this team, the ceiling, they're a 9-win team that could win a bad division and host a playoff game, make the playoffs for the first time as a division champ since the COVID year. That's what I think is what this team is capable of at their best. We got to remember, like, they were number 9 in the NFL in total defense a year ago. But after that, like, the offense wasn't great. I mean, they were 23rd in total offense, 28th in scoring, 27th in rushing, and 13th in pass offense. So you have a long way to go to proving you're a top half of the NFL offense. Not an elite offense, a top half of the NFL offense. I mean, you were 23rd in total, 28th in scoring, 27th in rushing. Like, you weren't good. I mean, even the game Shuck started when you won. I mean, the only games where you popped off were against the Jets and the Titans, where you scored 29 and 34 respectively. Against the Jets and the Titans. It's why they went and invested in this offense in the offseason. And now you're just kind of seeing a lot of that talent erode. Jalen Polk's retired. Jordan Tyson's hurt. Kamara's going to miss a month. Like, it takes its toll. Radens is out, so it hurts your depth on the offensive line. And we'll see if they go add pieces. They worked out a couple of wide receivers here on Wednesday out in L.A. We'll see if there's, maybe whenever the cuts come, on the 30th, and there's a whole wave of free agents, maybe there's opportunities for the Saints to add good veteran players that might be able to help elevate the team. But boy, it feels like a little bit of an emotional beatdown right now with every passing day with all these injuries. And I get it, man. It's a collision sport, and injuries are part of the game. But on a season that has carried a lot of expectation, this has been this gut punch after gut punch here the first couple of weeks of camp. Couple more preseason games to go. We'll see if the Saints can somehow make it through and not have any other sustained injuries. But Alvin Kamara, out a month. Whatever. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Bud Light. Show up and every day. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints. You're watching the Saints this Saturday out in L.A. against the Rams. Of course, make sure you do so with plenty of delicious ice-cold Bud Light in your hand at your favorite watering hole, maybe at your favorite restaurant. Ask for it by name. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints and the official beer of the LSU Tigers, where the officially licensed cans and 16-ounce aluminum bottles are available at great local retailers. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. Tigers have a walkthrough today, no media access. We did get to go watch our customary 12 minutes of practice on Tuesday night. So I was there. I'll tell you what I saw, a few takeaways. We'll dive into all of it as we continue. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, when it is 106 degrees outside, the only way to survive outside is by doing a swan dive or just wading into your own custom pool. Duplessis Pools makes that happen for Louisiana residents every single day. DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com. One more time, DuplessisPools.com. Hey, if you haven't done it yet, get to the website because they've updated the Pick Your Pool option to where now when you go to the website, hit Pick Your Pool on the homepage, you'll see a 3D model of the pool. And as you choose your features, the tiling, the coping, lights, a sun deck, if you want to add a water wall, any types of features like that, it'll build it out. Steps, bar stools in the water. Like, it'll build it out for you in 3D, and it'll change the price as well, so you can see what you're paying if you want to customize the pool yourself. It's really cool. Go play around with it on the website, DuplessisPools.com. Online, DuplessisPools.com.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product's always customer satisfaction. Come visit us at ReliefWindows.com. By the way, we do shutters too.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our Lay of the Lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new Ram 1500 truck on our lot now with $22,000 off MSRP.
Plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Tigers are back on the practice field on Tuesday evening. The media got our customary 12 minutes or so of watch time. And, there was a few notable things I always try to keep an eye on when we're out there. And look, just to be completely candid, when you're out there for 12 to 15 minutes, like we're getting to watch individual drills. We're not getting to watch 7-on-7, 11-on-11. So there's a lot of things that there's things you'd probably want us to keep an eye on that we just don't actually get to see. So I kind of, I guess over the last 20 years, learned to train my eye on what to look for when you get a dozen or 15 minutes out there to watch. Certainly you keep an eye on who's there, who's not, who's in gold, no contact jerseys. So remember earlier in the week on Monday, Harlem Berry was not there. I was told Berry had a stomach bug on Monday. So he was back out there on Tuesday, but was not working out with the team. He was off to the side with a trainer. So nothing serious. We were just told he just had a stomach bug. So it was great to see Harlem Berry back. Jordan Ross remained absent with the defensive linemen. So that's back-to-back practices that he's missed. No explanation given. We'll get an opportunity to talk to Lane Kiffin on Thursday, although I don't suspect he's going to say anything because he isn't really keen on saying anything about these sorts of things. It was great to see that Jace Brown and Winnie Watkins were not in gold jerseys again. Jabari Mack continues to wear his gold no-contact jersey, as does Trey'Dez Green. And a new player in gold was DJ Pickett, wearing his number 5 was wearing gold. And I did ask and was told there is nothing wrong at all with DJ Pickett. This is just a strictly precautionary, just like Trey'Dez Green. It's just one of those things where you cannot afford to lose that player, and so you just put him in gold and be like, nobody touched that guy. So that's sort of the good thing. Usually Hunt and I split the practice. He'll go watch offense and I'll go watch defense, and so we'll take our notes accordingly. And one thing I did find interesting, when we were out there, the defense started by doing a 4-spot circuit drill. So there were 4 different drills going on simultaneously. One was like a fumble recovery. One was like bending the edge and stripping the ball out of the quarterback's hand. One was getting your hands up and knocking the ball down. And one was like literally just stripping the football. One player was holding the ball and the other's like pulling the ball out as they're going to the ground. Actually posted video of this on my social media. If you want to check it out, you can see that drill, that strip drill where Chris Kiffin was working with the guys. And I thought this was so interesting because we got to watch this drill, like this circuit, which is very intentional. It's like stripping the ball, knocking the ball out of the quarterback's hands, batting the ball down, recovering fumbles, like very intentionally working on that component. And this was after Friday, Blake Baker talked specifically about generating more forced fumbles and fumble recoveries.
Yeah, rush and coverage works together. Again, I think we have a little more explosion off the edge. There were several times, again, when you look back at us last year, we have a great pass rush and maybe we just weren't able to close and finish on the quarterback. But they definitely work together. Big point emphasis, in my opinion, I think we only had 4 or 5 fumble recoveries. So, if you're out there, you see us being a lot more proactive, coaching strips on the ball and punches at the ball and trying to increase that number. But definitely, the better the rush, usually the more interceptions you have. But some of those interceptions, the quarterback's got to make a decision, take the sack or throw the ball to us. So, again, those numbers sometimes can be a little bit misleading as well.
I thought it was so interesting, right? Where on Friday he's telling you like they're being very intentional about working on forced fumbles, and we got to see that on Tuesday evening. They forced 7 fumbles a year ago and only recovered 4. So, but Jordan said it was interesting because Blake Baker's defense, it thrives on. He loves the stat, the metric, the havoc rate. That's his intention. He wants to go make things really difficult on the quarterback by moving him off the spot, pressuring him, hitting him, creating havoc plays. And usually when you create havoc, good things are going to happen. They'll throw interceptions, they'll fumble the ball, you force an incompletion, you'll bat a ball down. That's sort of the intention. Well, LSU didn't get home a bunch last year. They didn't have a bunch of sacks or forced fumbles, but they were number 23 in the country in total defense. So they were very effective defense. They didn't stuff the stat sheet with some of those metrics. And that's clearly something they're looking to turn around. So staying with defense, as I mentioned, Jordan Ross was not there at edge, and interestingly enough, as I was walking off the field, I was at a corner of the practice field where the defensive tackles went from hitting the sled to going to work on a double team drill, and I heard Kevin People say, "All right, one's up," like he called the ones, and Deuce Gerald's walked up with Don McKinley. Now, I do not think Don McKinley is a starter. I think what is very clear, what is becoming clearer with every passing day, is Gerald and Richard Anderson, the opener is 2 weeks from Saturday. So a lot can still happen between now and then. But the last day of camp is this coming Friday. They scrimmage Saturday, and then school starts on Monday. So then you're getting ready for Clemson. So when that happens, not just at LSU, it's literally everywhere. You break camp, and then everything pairs down. It's no longer good on good. Now you are getting to work on your opponent, and you pare down reps to the guys that are going to play. It's no longer about getting everybody reps. It's about getting the guys ready to play who are going to play. So I would be stunned genuinely surprised if anyone other than Richard Anderson and Deuce Gerald took the first snap at defensive tackle against Clemson. I guess it could happen. A lot could happen this week, and who knows? Knock on wood, but injuries happen or whatever. But I think those guys will take the first snaps. I think what is also very clear is they are trying to get Blockton and McKinley and Green all ramped up to where those 5 are acting at a pretty consistent rotation so nobody gets overworked. Something else Blake Baker talked about last Friday when he talked with us about the freshmen was the freshman wall and how those 2 young guys, and you throw Lamar Brown in it as well, are eventually going to hit that wall. See, I like the situation at edge for Lamar Brown better than tackle for Gerald and Anderson. Brown doesn't have to go be a day one starter giving you 65 snaps a game. He's going to be a rotational guy who's going to give you reps and play meaningful snaps for you, but you're not counting on him to go be the starter and to be a freak show. You're counting on these other 2 guys. I think they're trying to ramp up the others as well, which is probably why we saw McKinley take some of those reps with the ones. I should have mentioned also on the offensive side, Malik Elzy was in gold as well on Tuesday night. But it really feels like that's just so they're just rotating maybe to get guys to lessen the impact and the load that they're feeling out at practice by giving them sort of a quote unquote off day. It feels like that's what's happening here. And the other thing we've now seen for back-to-back practices is Roman Mothershed working with the tight ends. Remember, Roman Mothershed, he's 6'8", 210, 6'5", 210, and the transfer receiver from Troy, and they're working him at tight end. And it kind of makes sense when you look at the big-bodied pass-catching tight ends with, of course, Trey-Dez, but remember they signed J.C. Anderson, who's a 6'7" freshman. You look at with Ahmad Hudson committed, that mold and that build that Lane wants at tight end. Well, Roman Mothershed kind of matches that, and he's also just buried on the depth chart at receiver. So maybe this is an opportunity to give you a little bit more depth among the pass catchers at tight end, where like a guy like Zach Grace is going to be your blocker. It's also worth noting J.D. LaFleur hadn't been out there the past couple of practices, so maybe that's adding another body on the tight end side as well. So a few things that we saw out there on at practice on Tuesday. I did spend a good bit of time kind of watching the offensive line as well. Nothing new to report. They're getting a lot of reps by splitting the practice where, James Craig will work with the left side of the line and Eric Wolford will work with the right side of the line. They were working on pull blocks and on screen plays where the linemen are getting out in space and blocking someone in space on the edge. So everyone's getting a bunch of reps, but it doesn't feel like there's really any more movement. I think your first 5 are set. It feels like Sean Tompkins, the Baylor transfer, is your swing tackle. I think there's a good battle going between William Satterwhite and Ryan Moret for who's going to be the second center. And then I think if you needed a backup guard where it's Harper or Sprinkle, Harper on the right, Sprinkle on the left, it'd probably be Harper either way, I think would be the next guy up. So just a few things to consider there as the Tigers worked out on Tuesday. So they did go, they had team periods Tuesday evening, and apparently all went well. So we'll be back out there on, we're supposed to have access Thursday morning for practice, and then Lane Kiffin and players are set to meet with reporters after practice on Thursday. So we'll have a good bit of access, and we'll have to report Thursday on AFR. Also, we're noting Ed Ogeron was absent again on Tuesday. So as we reported over at LouisianaSports.net, Coach O was not at the scrimmage on Saturday in Tiger Stadium, and then was not at practice Monday or Tuesday. So we'll see if he's back out there on Thursday when we have access. When I asked Lane about it on Monday, he said he wasn't feeling well, so they sent him home. So if we get an update, we'll certainly pass it along. But Coach O wasn't there again on Tuesday. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad you're with us here. We are brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. They always got great deals and great specials going on over at Rouse's, like we talk about every Tuesday. There's the $5 Sushi Tuesdays over at Rouse's. But right now, I want to remind you, man, get set because starting tomorrow on the 20th, it's the 4-day sale over at Rouse's from the 20th through the 23rd. 4 days of can't-miss deals coming your way, again, starting on Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 20th through the 23rd. If you're going to do your big-time grocery shopping or you're just looking for deals to stock the pantry or stock the fridge or maybe stock your freezer with some great meat, great opportunity to do it this Thursday through Sunday. It is Rouse's 4-day sale, August 20th through 23rd. Get all the deets at their Facebook page or online at Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home. All right, y'all. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Remember, you can always email us, tweet us, or text in the 225. It's 396-4400. That's my text line. You can always text the station as well at 499-1045, 499-1045. Save that number in your phone, 499-1045. I should mention as well that if you want breaking news updates from LouisianaSports.net, just text LSN, text those 3 letters, LSN, to 499-1045. You opt in, then whenever there's breaking news, boom, you'll get a text with that breaking news link sent straight to you. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for being here. Let me knock out a quick break. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. When we come back, we'll go around the SEC. Also, we do have an LSU basketball update we'll get to here in about 15 minutes. Stay with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
I love telling you about the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. I was actually texting my buddy David Johnson over at Renaissance just a little bit ago. They are they're hosting a huge conference tonight over at Renaissance Baton Rouge. So it's a great reminder that if they're full to the gills tonight, but it's a great reminder that if it's a work conference that you're trying to hold, if it's an award banquet, if it's a fundraiser, any type of event you might looking to be hosting, Renaissance Baton Rouge is the perfect spot. I was actually told, Dave, I don't know if I can spill the beans on this yet. Let me not spill the beans on that. one of the local football teams will be spending Friday nights before home games at Renaissance Baton Rouge this year. Excited to tell you more about that when I get the green light and the okay. But remember, there's always a great opportunity to go eat at Tallulah. They do private dining events as well. If you want to have a private chef-curated menu for a party, you can do that at Tallulah. Check it out. It's at Renaissance Baton Rouge.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats.
If you need a metal building, you want Proform Steel. Proformla.com. 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 That's the website. Always encourage you to go to the website because right there at the top right, you'll see request a quote. And it's super easy. So whether you need a backyard shed or you need a big industrial-sized metal building, go to the website, fill out what you're looking for, and you will get a call same day from someone at Proform Steel that's going to give you that quote, just real time. Proformla.com. So start at the website, hit request a quote at the top right, proformla.com. Remember, all the materials made in the USA, and they give you faster lead times, in some instances 6 to 8 weeks faster, and free delivery on every building. You buy a metal building from Proform Steel, they will deliver it for free. Check them out, proformla.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I mean, look, we need some more context as to how this happened. I mean, did somebody fall into him, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I want to make it clear. Yeah. I don't know that it has anything to do with that fight.
But it's hard. Look, I mean, the Saints right now, for a team that looks so promising, that could really be challenging in the South, to lose Tyson and now lose him.
Right.
I mean,
that's brutal.
Just not good.
That's a team a lot of people love, and I know it hurts you to your core because of your love for Tyler Shuck.
That's Tyler
and
Shuck,
obviously
Riddick,
that's not so good.
That's Louis Riddick, who's on Get Up talking about the Saints losing Alvin Kamara. It just sucks. I mean, it's like I can say it, and some of you can call me a hater. Some of you do, but nothing could be further from the truth. I love the Saints. It's just that's the reality of it. Like, you keep losing players, it thins out your depth, and with so much excitement around this team as a potential playoff team for the first time since the COVID year, every time you lose a player like this, it gets a little more ambiguous. Now, I will say, specifically, if you want the positive spin, what I would say for Kamara and for Jordan Tyson, I'm expecting the Saints to start 0-2. They start at Detroit and at the Ravens. I don't think they're going to win either of those games. So if you have Alvin Kamara back in a month, in theory, he'd be back after those first two games, which I don't think you're going to win anyway. I would love to see them win. I would be pleasantly pleasantly surprised if they did. And maybe, look, Baltimore, rough year last year. I mean, it's still Lamar Jackson, new coach there in Baltimore. So, we'll see. Detroit feels like they're going to be a wrecking ball this year, just on a mission after a very disappointing season a year ago. That's a really tough place to go open the season. I guess all that to say, with or without Kamara, the Saints are still going to be underdogs in both of those two games. So maybe after that, when you come home for that 3-game stretch of very winnable games, maybe that's the benefit there. That with or without Kamara, you don't think you're going to win those games. The trickier part, I think, is the Saints. I'm going to say this, like, as you look at how they build out the schedule, I think you got to win those 3 games, weeks 3, 4, 5. Because if you drop your first 2, and we all know the percentages of teams that start 0-3 and then 0-4, like what the opportunity is to make the playoffs, just astronomically against you. But you're home against the Raiders in week 3. You're home against the Falcons in week 4. That's the Monday Night Football game. And then you're home. You have 20 years Katrina, and then you are or the reopening of the dome, I should say. And then you're home in week 5 against Minnesota. And maybe Minnesota's a really good team this year. Or maybe it's Kyler Murray and they stink, which is more likely the case. So I like the Saints to start 3-2, and maybe with or without Jordan Tyson and Alvin Kamara, that would be their record anyway. I don't know that anything's altered. Like their win totals probabilities haven't been altered based on that. So if you're looking for the positive spin, that's it. But yeah, man, it sucks. Ross Jackson's going to be with us at the top of hour number 3. He's out there in L.A. with the Saints. Had a walkthrough today after a really chippy practice a day ago. By the way, that's something Tyler Shuck talked about, was just how physical that practice got. I think we showed you the video, the German suplex that Rex Steiner threw on one of those poor Cowboy players.
We were competing the whole time. We were getting after it. I think that you felt the juice. I was going out there, talking crap to the guys, talking a bunch. We were out there competing every single down, and that's what we want, But we also have to manage the ebbs and flows of the game too, and that, it felt that way. And I think we were able to really get some good work in.
Has to manage the juice. Hey, if you're managing juice, would you rather manage orange, apple, pineapple, grapefruit, tangerine, grape?
Pineapple or apple. For me, I'd like to manage.
Apple juice, huh?
Big apple juice guy.
6 years old?
Big apple juice guy, man. Although,
Paul, when was the last time you drank apple juice, Paul?
Probably a week ago.
Oh,
Opal.
Oh, you got it. That's right. You have
big apple juice guy.
He's not a big apple juice guy. He has a toddler.
Doesn't mean he has to drink it.
I mean, okay, the parent tax is a real thing. Okay, like if Opal has apple juice sitting right there and she leaves her little juice box with like 3 sips left, guess what my guy's doing? He's grabbing that juice box and he's finishing it off. You paid for that thing, you ain't throwing it in the trash. Am I right, Paulie? Is that what happened?
100%.
Or did you just grab a juice box out the fridge?
No.
Thank you.
I totally would have.
I know you would have, because you're apparently 6 years old.
Apple juice is good. Why do you have to have an age limit on drinking apple juice? It's tasty.
Twitter poll. How old is too old to drink apple juice? Or something like, we got to word it something like that. At what age should you stop drinking apple juice?
What are our options?
I don't know. Just create a range. Okay. Or text me, or email me, or tweet me. You can text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, or the show text line at 499-1045. Muse is a 30-something-year-old man
32.
who still drinks apple juice. Paul, when did you stop drinking apple juice? Like going to the store and buy? So you go to the store and you buy apple juice to keep in your refrigerator?
No, I don't. I'm just saying I like apple juice a lot. The last time I had apple juice was probably a month ago.
Okay, so you have bought apple juice as an
No,
adult.
it was at a 1-year-old's birthday party, actually. But I sought it out. I was like, hey, can I have one of these?
My guy keeps proving my point. It's a 1-year-old's birthday party drinking apple juice.
I don't keep juice, though.
But
I like juice. I love a good glass of orange juice with breakfast.
Yeah, orange juice.
Or apple.
Appropriate for adults.
Or apple juice with breakfast.
Apple juice? Good. Children box little apple juice drink.
No, you just get the thing of like, they got a bunch of brands.
So you're going to get crushed on this one, Muse, because there's no adult that goes willingly and buys apple juice for themselves.
I'm doing it next time.
A very, very microscopic percentage of the population. Home use. Hey, we're brought to you by Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing. It rains darn near every day because it's that time of year. Got issues with your roof? We'd love to help you out. Commercial, residential, repairs, replacements. We also do gutters and soft wash. I want to remind you, you should have your home soft wash probably like twice a year. Just before Drew's birthday party, we did that. We had Parrish come out, soft wash the whole house. Hardscape, home, roof. You can do the whole thing. We even soft wash commercial buildings. Like we just soft washed Mike the Tiger's cage with the tiger in there. That was crazy. Like they used the soft wash gun. They were just spraying Mike with the soft wash gun. Not really. That's not a real thing. Come on. They don't let you in there with the tiger in there.
Not unless you're properly trained.
No, nobody gets to go in there with the tiger. Come on.
Vet.
That's way too. No. Not even the vet. They make sure that dude is unconscious.
There you go.
When people are in there. Anyway, ParrishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Okay, let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Auburn Tigers.
Auburn lost one of its young players up front on Wednesday. Alex Golish announced sophomore edge rusher J.J. Falk underwent surgery. He's expected to miss the season. 24/7 first reported that he injured his collarbone in practice. Four-star recruit, was a freshman in 2025, didn't play much a year ago, just 3 games. He's the brother of former Auburn first-rounder Keldrick Falk, who's in the mix for a big role this year, but he's done for the season.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Cole Speer. Kirby Smart updated Cole Speer stats. UGA Sports initially reported that Speer was going to be rejoining Georgia for a 5th year because of the recent Colorado ruling. Well, Kirby Smart clarified. He said, I wouldn't make any assumptions right now with the NCAA and rulings and things going on, so he's not officially back with the team, but they've had a lot of conversations with a lot of guys, but nothing is official yet. Spears was primarily a special teamer during his Georgia career, played in 27 games over the past 2 seasons.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Arkansas added more depth in the secondary with Dartmouth transfer Sean Williams, 5'9", 190. He's a Tennessee native. He's 3-time All-Ivy League. He was a first-teamer this past season. He started 37 games over his 3 seasons there with Dartmouth. He's already on campus working out with the new team.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Alex Brown will be Kentucky's assistant general manager. GM Pat Biondo stepped down from his position just ahead of fall camp. And so then assistant GM Pete Nocta was promoted, but that left his spot unopened. Now they filled it with Brown, who is a UT Arlington graduate. Actually started in media, working with Bleacher Report and some other outlets, worked for the NFL Network, and worked his way through. He actually spent a season at Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin in 2024, went to work for the NFL, the Shrine Bowl, and now is at Kentucky.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
And Ole Miss infielder Will Furness announced he is returning for a final season in Oxford. Of course, the federal court ruling earlier this month opened the door for Furness and Judd Utermark, by the way, to return for another season there in Oxford to play another season of baseball for Mike Bianco. Furness started all 64 games a season ago and was second on the team in batting average, RBI, and hits. Also had 9 homers and 12 doubles. Utermark led the team with a .309 batting average a season ago. They're both heading back to Oxford. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. I do want to, in about 45 minutes, I want to circle back to that story. So we just talked about the 2 Ole Miss baseball players that are returning, and Cole Speer, Kirby gave the update there. So I have been aggressively trying to get answers around LSU for what their plan is in the effect that the NCAA's appeal is denied of the injunction. And these 2022 players who have a year of eligibility are able to come back into college football. Like, what does that mean for LSU? I asked Lane Kiffin that question last week, and he gave me a very ambiguous answer, only to say, like, we prepare for everything. And as I've learned more and more, this staff is the way that the player personnel staff has broken this down. Like, they have done incredible legwork and headway to find, like, what players would be available. A lot of them they already have scouting reports on, either from high school or from portal scouting reports. So they're very aware of who they think would be available, and if this goes through, who they'd be interested in, what positions they'd be interested in addressing. And I want to get to that because Pete Nakos tweeted about it earlier today, and there might be some movement coming up here, so we'll get to all that in about 45 minutes from right now. Okay, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We will give you an update on the LSU men's basketball roster, which a lot of people have keen interest in. We'll do that next on AFR.
After further review.
Man, I was driving.
Every ounce of Raising Cane's lemonade has been hand-squeezed that day from fresh lemons before being served over our signature crushed ice. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding.
On his 60th birthday, y'all shoot him a message or a tweet and wish him a happy birthday. And, of course, driving down the interstate, got to see all the Gordon billboards. And remember, the Get Gordon Billboard contest is live right now. You can win up to $2,000 in prizes if your billboard design wins. So go to getgordon.com/billboards, getgordon.com/billboards to enter your design today. Getgordon.com/billboards.
What's the difference between a house and a home? For an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit, nor by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Community sailing is all about getting people in the New Orleans area out on boats, out on Lake Pontchartrain. Gulf Coast Bank helps us provide opportunities to get folks out who might not otherwise have the financial means to come sailing. Auctions in August is an online fundraiser that helps nonprofits like us service the community. Bidding through Auctions in August is a lot of fun because there's so many different items. There's something for everyone, so you're sure to find something that relates directly to you that you'll enjoy bidding on, and you get to help out the community.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season, and we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Well, I'm going to pivot here because there is a developing story. Breaking news, Pete Nakos over at On3 has reported that 16 college football players have been granted a temporary restraining order for a fifth year of eligibility, and among them is former LSU edge Jack Pyburn. So Pyburn is one of the players. And by the way, Jack Pyburn is currently in camp with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And had 2 sacks on Friday in their game against the Jets. It's also worth noting that in addition to Pyburn, former Ole Miss defensive lineman Xavier Harris, former Ole Miss safety Wydett Williams, and former Ole Miss tight end Daquan Wright have also been granted that TRO. Now, it obviously makes a lot of sense considering the fact that those guys played for Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. Now, could they go back to Ole Miss? Potentially. However, the roster situation and numbers might work out. The money would have to work and all that stuff as well. So, I mean, I intended to do this in about 40 minutes from right now, but I'll do it now since this is out there. So, the Pyburn situation is an interesting one because he did take a signing bonus to sign with Tampa as a UDFA. I was told it was low 6 figures, maybe like 100, 150K, somewhere around that. And I have reached out, tried to get in touch with Jack. I understand he's in training camp, but, efforting, we'll put it to you that way. The fact that he's been granted a TRO tells you that he wants to keep open the possibility of coming back to school if he doesn't make the Bucs. The reason there's 2 sort of noteworthy events in the calendar we need to keep an eye on. Number 1 is August the 30th. So that's in 11 days. That's cut day in the NFL. Remember, there used to be a wave of cuts. They would cut after each preseason game. They don't do that anymore. They have 1 cut day after the 3rd preseason game, and like all 32 teams have to cut down to get within 53-man roster limit. So in 11 days is cut day. Now, that's also 6 days before LSU plays Clemson. It would be really ambitious for someone unfamiliar with the defense to be on an NFL roster and then to transition back to school and then to be playing within 6 days. But Jack Pyburn played in this defense a year ago with Blake Baker as the coordinator. It's one of the great benefits of retaining the defensive coaching staff. That would be very seamless. Now, I mentioned a guy like Daquan Wright, who was the Ole Miss tight end a year ago. Now, obviously, LSU has Trey'Dez Green. But Daquan Wright had over 600 receiving yards last year at Ole Miss in this offense. It would be a seamless transition with Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss calling plays in an offense that he's already familiar with. There's a couple of things that are notable. Number 1, as I mentioned there, is that Pyburn took money. I don't know if Daquan Wright did. Pyburn took money. Now, according to the NCAA rules, if you took money, you are ineligible. So the real question here, and it is unknown right now. They would have to get a ruling. Now, he's gotten the TRO, but certainly the NCAA is going to appeal. And they're in the process of appealing that the judge in Colorado is ruling. And so if the NCAA wins their appeal, then all of these players are not eligible. If the NCAA loses its appeal, then these players, in theory, would be eligible. Pyburn still, I think, is a little ambiguous because of the money. But this would be a big win for Pyburn. The other part of it is how many roster spots do you have? Now, I had a conversation with a staff member late last week, might have been over the weekend. Days run together sometime. But I was told that LSU had one roster spot available. 1. Now, if you had multiple players, experienced players at positions of need that you could add, I would think you make it work. You figure out a way to make it work. But I can't think of a spot on LSU's entire roster where there's more of a need to add experienced bodies than the defensive line. I mean, you're looking at starting 2 true freshmen at defensive tackle, and you lost Gabe Relaford at edge. So you got a true freshman in the 2 deep. And I don't care that he's a 5-star. Like, you want that guy to be able to play for you. But you can add a guy that's played 4 years of college football and has been a productive player in the SEC, then you do it. So LSU has been very coy with the way they've handled this entire thing, and I understand it because, in large part, you don't know definitively what's going to happen yet. You don't know a timeline. So one date to watch is August 30th, cut day in the NFL. The other is when the NCAA's hearing goes through. We'll keep you posted.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Parish Restoration. Kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens. ParishRestoration.com. ParishRestoration.com. Call Jim Woodworth and the gang. They'll always give you that free quote. ParishRestoration.com. It's mold remediation done right the first time. I tell you all the time, we live in the mold capital of the world. It's hot, it's humid, and it's wet. It's a breeding ground for mold. So if you start to notice like a wet spot on your ceiling or water intrusion in your house, chances are that didn't start with the rain that came today. It's probably been there as a slow leak for a while. That means you could have mold. And maybe you have mold and you're not sure if you do. Call Parish Restoration. They'll come out. They'll get you squared away. They'll knock it out. It's cost effective. It's efficient. It's effective. It's Parish Restoration. They'll spray their patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. Check them out online today at ParishRestoration.com, ParishRestoration.com, ParishRestoration.com.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product's always customer satisfaction. Come visit us at ReliefWindows.com. By the way, we do shutters too.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit LouisianaPropane.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Chargers waiting for word on center Tyler Biotish. He's out indefinitely after sustaining damage to his ACL and additional injuries to his left knee during yesterday's joint practice. He'll meet with additional doctors to try to get more clarity. As the Browns' QB1 decision looms, Shedeur Sanders says he's not feeling any added heat going into tomorrow's joint practice with the Bills or his start in Saturday's second preseason game.
I'll say every day of my life is important. Every day is important. I wouldn't say it's a day that's not important, so that's just another day going out there doing what I got to do, honestly. I don't really feel anxiety or any pressure, going into things like that anymore because it's like that's how I approach everything. So, it's just another day of going to work.
Cleveland's Shedeur Sanders, he is competing for the starting job with Deshaun Watson. Baseball, Pirates ace Paul Skeens with a few extra days rest. 3 runs, 5 hits, 4 walks in 4 1/3, pulled after 81 pitches. Pittsburgh did rally to beat Detroit 4-3 on Brandon Lau's walk-off homer, bottom 10. 6th time this season that Skeens failed to go at least 5 innings.
If you run a small business, you've got to try Gusto. Get unlimited payroll runs and get your payroll taxes filed automatically. Offer health insurance, 401k, and more. Get started for free at gusto.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, man!
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Lori Bertman's going to join us in 15 minutes. Of course, Lori, daughter of late Coach Skip Bertman. And Lori's going to join us a little bit to talk about the celebration of life coming up in 6 days. And what the family is kind of requesting for those that want to honor Skip in a certain way, what and how they can do that. So we're excited to have Lori here in about a dozen minutes from right now. Ross Jackson's going to join us from California. He's out there with the Saints. That's coming up in 1 hour from right now. If you missed it, there as we wrapped up last hour, Jack Pyburn is among 16 players that have been granted a TRO, a temporary restraining order, granting them a 5th year of college eligibility. Now, this is all contingent upon the NCAA. So in theory, he could play, but we're waiting on the NCAA who's filed their appeal in federal court to the judge in Colorado, granting all those players a blanket waiver for eligibility. So the NCAA says, oh, no, you're not. And so they've appealed. So now individual players have been granted their TRO, but we're waiting on the ruling from the NCAA's appeal case to see what all may transpire. So there's still more hurdles to clear before Pyburn, in theory, could be back at LSU or in college football. But that would be a massive, massive development if LSU and other schools are actually able to add these veteran college football players here right in the 11th hour. So we'll keep you posted as we learn more. The Saints are looking potentially to add players at receiver after Jordan Tyson's injury. And news broke the Saints worked out 2 players after Jordan Tyson's injury. Chase Claypool and Josh Reynolds both worked out for the New Orleans Saints. And first of all, I do not think the Saints working out Claypool and Reynolds is a commentary on the rookies. So as to say, I don't think the Saints look at it and go, well, we're this deep into camp and we had an injury and we're not sold that our rookies are ready, so we're going to go work out some veterans. I think it's understanding you are always working to improve your roster. The old adage is You're either getting better or you're getting worse. You're never staying the same in the NFL. So if you have the opportunity to get an updated scouting report on a guy or potentially bring in a guy who's better than someone you have, you do it. And worst case, you have an updated scouting report, or maybe you're just looking to replace a body. Because with Jordan Tyson out, you're down a receiver. So maybe you want to bring in someone to add to your numbers for a camp body. Claypool and Reynolds are interesting. Chase Claypool's 28 years old. Josh Reynolds is 31. Reynolds, you might remember, was 6'3" receiver, former Texas A&M Aggie. It's a little bit of a weird end to his career, which we'll talk about in just a smidge. But Chase Claypool is the one that just has this bizarre fall from grace. He went to Notre Dame, and he was a second-round pick of the Steelers, and his career started off awesome. I mean, he had nearly 1,000 receiving yards as a rookie back in the COVID year, 9 touchdowns. A year later, 860 yards, a couple of more scores. So 11 receiving touchdowns in his first 2 years in the league. And then in 2022, it just kind of started falling apart for him. He ends up getting traded to the Bears for a second-round pick. And the Bears stunk, and he criticized the team. And they ended up leaving him at home for a Thursday night football game. And then they end up trading him to Miami. So he goes to Miami and does bupkis in that season. They release him at the end of the year. Then he goes into 2024, signs a 1-year deal with the Bills. So this was, again, really good start to his career in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh trades him to Chicago. Chicago stinks. He's a bad egg in the locker room. Chicago trades him to Miami. He doesn't ever break through against Miami or for Miami, and so then they cut him. He's a free agent. He signs with Buffalo. This was Chase Claypool about not meeting his personal expectations during training camp before that 2024 season with Buffalo.
I know there's times where it can be frustrating if I'm not living up to my potential, but if it's frustrating in the outside world, it's even more frustrating for me. I understand where I should be, and I understand that I haven't met those expectations. There's changes that happen through organizations and through my journey. Things have changed, and sometimes things work out well for you, and sometimes they don't. I went from being a starter, playing every play, to going to Miami and really not playing at all. So it almost made me realize my love for the game, because even though I was doing nothing that I wanted to do, or expected to do, special teams and stuff like that at the time, I realized how much I love football, because when I did get the opportunity to be out there.
So that was a guy who felt really motivated going into that 2024 season with Buffalo. Sean McDermott, the coach at the time, had this to say about Chase Claypool going into 2024.
You don't find that a lot around the NFL, where a player has been at a certain level and then is on a mission right now to reclaim what he once was in that regard. And those are my words, maybe not fair to Chase, respectfully, but I would just say, very impressed with his day-to-day approach.
So it seemed really exciting going into 2024. And then he got a toe. He had a toe. Tore a ligament and a tendon in his second toe in August during training camp, just shortly after McDermott made those comments, and he missed the entire season, was released on an injury settlement. 2025, he tried out for the Packers, didn't make it. Now he's trying out for the Saints. So it's bizarre, man, because he had a really good first 2 years in 20 and 21, but now you're talking about 5 years later, and the dude has bounced around from Pittsburgh to Chicago to Miami to Buffalo to out of the league, can't get a roster spot. He's 28 years old. Is there anything left in there? I don't know, but it's an opportunity to go work out for a roster spot. And then the other is Josh Reynolds, who another guy that has sort of an interesting career arc, because this was a guy that was, he came out of Texas A&M, was a 4th-round pick of the Rams, and ended up having some productivity and some productive seasons early in his career, and he's played in 121 games. But the two things that have sort of derailed him are injuries and age. In 2023, he played in all 17 games for Detroit. But then in 2024, he kind of had a similar arc as what happened to Claypool. So he goes to Denver in 2024 on a 2-year deal, and then has a hand injury and goes to IR, and then was injured in a shooting. And then he gets waived. So then Jacksonville picks him up in 2024, and just as a really limited impact in 24. He ended up playing 5 games for Denver and then 4 games for Jacksonville. And then last year, he played with the Jets, played in just 5 games with 3 starts and had 11 catches. So at least he's been in the league, which Claypool has not been the last 2 years. But you're talking about a 31-year-old in Josh Reynolds, who is certainly on the back end of his career, and you wonder just how much does he have left in the tank. And so would you rather a guy who's an aging veteran who was at one point productive but hasn't been in a couple of years, or would you rather err on the side of some of your young players, giving them that opportunity? Because that's why you go and you compete for it. But I look at the receiver position for the Saints, and I see you got Chris Olave, who you just paid a boatload of money to. I mean, you paid him like a top 10 receiver in the NFL, and you're expecting him to go play like it. And you're really excited about Jordan Tyson opposite him, but obviously that's not going to happen for a couple of months now. So what's left? You've got Devon Vele, who, again, had 1 game last year where he was really good. He had 8 catches against Miami. But the first 9 games he played with the Saints, he had 6 catches in 9 games. Like, we were lampooning Devon Vele in that trade up until that point. So are you really convinced that that's a guy over 17 games that's going to give you 50 catches, 60 catches, whatever it may be? It's hard to project that. You can hope for it. It's hard to project that. And you got Bryce Lance and Barry and Brown, who are rookies, and you got Bub Means, who spent his entire rookie year injured. So I think there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of ability there. You don't have a lot of skins on the wall. So this is the contradiction you have between the 2 guys you're working out and the guys that are there. Now, you also have Kevin Austin and Ronnie Bell and Jalen Marino-Cropper and Trey Palmer and Brock Rechsteiner, who's going to be suspended for 6 games. And Mason Tipton still hanging around, although he's injured. So you got bodies there. But can you upgrade with one of those veterans? If the Saints do decide to make a move and sign either Claypool or Reynolds, we'll certainly let you know and talk about it. But a best-case scenario would be if you're a young talent that you've invested draft picks in, and you would throw Vele in the mix there as well, because you did trade for Vele, and you traded a draft pick for Vele. You hope those guys can start to step up and make good on the investment that you made, the draft capital investment you made in those guys. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. FMOLhealth.org/LSU. That's where you can go to learn more about the Championship Health Partnership. Of course, Lane Kiffin, Jordan Seaton, Sam Levitt, Tradez Green, some of the best players that are going to help us stand up and cheer this fall inside of Tiger Stadium. They're Championship Health partners and NIL partners with Our Lady of the Lake. But I tell you, whether it's the NIL deals, whether it's the Student Center, whether it's their world-class cancer care, heart health, if it's stroke or pediatrics, you can get world-class care right here at home with FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, Championship Health partner of LSU Athletics. Learn more online at FMOLhealth.org/LSU, FMOLhealth.org/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together, we roar. On Friday morning, we lost Skip Bertman at age 88, and we spent the day Friday paying tribute to the life and legacy of Skip Bertman. We know that there will be a celebration of life coming up on Tuesday at the Maravich Center. Skip's daughter, Lori, is going to join us next. A little bit of info on how the family is continuing to honor Skip's legacy and how we can all help. Stay with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com for River City's 1 Hour Air. I love reading these great 5-star reviews because what you see consistently is why they have more than double the amount of 5-star reviews than the next closest competitor. Here's one from Sarah Galloway, who said, Jason, technician, came out in less than an hour of my phone call and had my AC fixed within the next hour. With my special needs son, I couldn't chance sitting in the heat for an entire day. How about that? AC goes out. Sarah calls River City's 1 Hour Air. Within 2 hours of her phone call, her AC is working again. Nights, holidays, and weekends, they always come out to make sure that you're comfortable. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Every Raising Cane's chicken finger is marinated, battered by hand, and cooked to order to perfection. We don't have heat lamps, Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Bayou Ford has 0% APR with no payments for 90 days and $1,000 down payment assistance on select 2026 Ford models.
Plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
At Southern Classic Chicken, we take pride in serving the freshest, seasoned, and marinated hand-breaded fried chicken. Drive through today and pick up a family box or one of our classic combos and enjoy a true Southern Classic. Order online and download our loyalty app to start earning those crispy and juicy rewards. Loyalty matters.
Better coverage for less money. That's what you get over at Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450. Give them a shout. 293-0450. Call Adam, Jay, the whole crew over at Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450. Or you can always log on to lainsurance.net. Process is so easy. I've told you about it for years. We all have to pay for insurance, and too many of us are overpaying and or underinsured. If you want to get great coverage from a top-rated company, and potentially save money, let Insurance Network of Louisiana shop independently for free to see if they can find you better coverage for less money. 293-0450, 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net. They're at the office right now. Give them a shout. The process is easy. They do all the legwork, and literally the worst thing that could happen is they run the numbers and go, hey, what you have now is perfect. Stick with that. 293-0450.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
On Friday, we all said goodbye to arguably the greatest, most titanic figure in LSU athletics history. Skip Bertman gone at the age of 88, and obviously the remembrances have poured in, and we spent the entire day Friday talking to former coaches and players and assistants and dignitaries who knew and loved Skip and shared their remembrances, and we're really looking forward to Tuesday, the public memorial at the Maravich Center, where we will all be able to gather and remember Skip, and it'll be a wonderful, wonderful event and opportunity. And certainly the families felt that outpouring as well. And Skip's daughter, Lori, is good enough to join us here for a few minutes to share a little bit about that, and also what direction that the family would like for a lot of the honorees and the remembrances of Skip to go. Lori, we appreciate the time. Thank you. Our condolences. I know I'm not the first, but I'll be the latest to offer you our sincere condolences on Skip. Thanks for the time today, Lori. How are you?
Thank you. We're doing okay. We're okay. You know, everyone's outpouring of support has been very helpful, and we really appreciate it.
If you don't mind me just asking a quick follow-up on that, Lori, can you maybe just elaborate and share a little bit, who you've heard from, and maybe someone or something that might surprise you or might surprise people to hear?
Okay, so sure. I mean, I have heard from, I guess Steve Scalise called me. That was weird, kind of strange. Let's see. I think a lot of I work a little bit in the field of sports, so different stars and different people, different athletes have called me. I'm very just surprised that, it's just the tributes have been across the board as it relates to different, not just baseball, but all different types of people. So I will tell you that I am so brain dead that I've gotten calls from just about everyone.
I can imagine.
I can imagine. I mean, really, and I know that some of the, all the politicians, obviously, and then, but, people like, Billie Jean King or other people just would call and with their condolences, right? So that would be an example.
No, that's amazing, but it illustrates the breadth of and the scope of the types of people that Skip influenced throughout his life. And Lori, I know a lot of your professional life has actually been dedicated to helping fundraise and guide a lot of the things and missions that meant a lot to Skip. And I know that's something that you and the family are hoping that with his passing, people who want to do nice things, remember Skip, might be able to help. So maybe Laura, we could talk a little bit about that. Let's start, if we could, I guess, with the College Baseball Hall of Fame, because that's something I know you have spent a tremendous amount of your time and energy helping fundraise for that venue, and that's something that meant a lot to Skip as well.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes, I currently serve as a trustee on the Hall of Fame, and I've been on the Hall of Fame trustee I've been there for about 3 years. But my dad was their original inductee with folks like Dave Winfield and Will Clark. And I remember sitting under a tent in Lubbock, Texas, thinking, wait, what is happening here? I think they deserve better than this. But wonderful people, and they've been really working over time. I think my dad, I remember him asking me to help him fundraise years ago when he was helping out the board and being an ambassador for them. And then they never had a home, and then finally settled upon Overland Park, Kansas, which was a kind of a very good neutral site for them. Right near Omaha, and they are in the middle of a capital campaign and trying to build out this beautiful building with incredible design. And so we have been working to do that and make sure that LSU and my dad are represented well, and the story of his legacy is preserved and told to young people to come. And then the other piece that I think is newer to the LSU community is the Skip Bertman Coach of the Year Award, which has been around since 2013. But when I got on their board, I immediately said, well, we want something that's worthy of Skip. And this award gives out to not just Division I coaches, but also Division III and the NAIA and others. And what we have done is essentially gotten Marucci to sponsor it, and we've also endowed it and redid the award. And what I've done is I have people. Now we're giving it out in Omaha every year on the second day of the series.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we won't know who wins the series. And a funny thing is my dad said to me, when Jay wins 5, that's when he gets it.
Does Jay know that story?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
I said, Jay, you got to win 5. You got to win 5. And so it's really not just about winning. It's about all the things that Skip has put into building a program, mentoring his players, about being a part of the community, and really making something out of nothing, which was what he did when he came here to LSU. So we look at that as well. And so last year we ended up giving to USCLA, John Savage, and wow, what a tremendous human being, and had lost in the first round of the regional after going, bookend number one. And it was devastating, but he still went to accept the award because he really disrespected Skip so much and the affiliation with that award. And I could imagine that would have been hard to go up to Omaha to do that. So I'm really excited. I think the College Baseball Hall of Fame represents all the great schools, and I think LSU is going to play a huge part and in the story of college baseball, and my dad as well. So
that's so well said. Lori Bertman is our guest. As you mentioned, Lori is on the College Baseball Hall of Fame board as a trustee, and was very impactful, important to Skip to build this venue and this facility. And so, Lori, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're asking people in lieu of flowers, if they want to make a donation in Skip's name or honor, where should they make that donation?
Well, there'll be several places. So on the program, you can go to lsusports.net, and if you go there, they'll have there's four different organizations that we're recommending, and that's on the site, and then it will also be in the program. There'll be a QR code where they can just hit the QR code, and it will actually go right to that site as well. And then each one of those organizations has a description and a way to donate to that organization. It will take you right to them, and they're all equipped to be memorial donations. So to Skip, so they'll ask you, and you should say in memory of Skip, and then we'll each one of them will do something in his memory.
I love it. Lori, it's an amazing thing you're doing. We pulled it up right here on the website. Yeah, so as Lori mentioned, if you go to lsusports.net, you'll see the post about the memorial service for Skip, and then if you scroll down, you'll see it. Paul, would you mind? There it is. So it's Athletes for Hope, College Baseball Hall of Fame, the LSU Baseball Coaches Committee, the Baseball Excellence Fund, and then the Skip Bertman Leadership Endowed Scholarship through the Tiger Athletic Foundation. We talked about a couple of those already, Lori. Could you maybe give us a little bit of a tidbit on Athletes for Hope and why that meant so much to Skip and to your family?
Sure. And I want to just say something. The Leadership Endowed Scholarship is actually at the LSU Foundation. And I want to just tell you one, I don't mean to skew off here, but really quickly.
No, please.
That foundation, that scholarship was when a bunch of fans came to me when I was working at the Baton Rouge Area Foundation, and they came to me and said, "Hey, we want to do something for your father." And I asked my dad, "What would be special to you?" And he said, "If they set up a fund, I would like it to be purely education and to purely go to non-athletes." And so this fund has given out over, it's one of their largest scholarships. So we raised around $2 million back in 2000. So think about that. Endowed now, it's given out over $150,000 in scholarships to non-athletes. And so he's very proud of that. And I wanted to make sure that was included in here.
Yeah.
So that one is not, that's the one above is with the Tiger Athletic Foundation, but I'll get with Athletes for Hope, because I think Athletes for Hope is very special and still going on here at LSU. Athletes for Hope is in its 20th anniversary, and it essentially helps, teach players. It actually was an organization that was put together by famous athletes like Muhammad Ali, Andre Agassi, Mario Lemieux, Cal Ripken, Mia Hamm. I mean, just an incredible group of people that said literally one line: "We just want to do help the world. That was the first moment. And so we want to use our platform to do that. And so what Athletes for Hope was about was just doing that, getting athletes to do that. Well, they decided to start Athletes for Hope University, and they tried at Tulane at first, and then came down here, and came to me and said, "Hey, what about LSU?" And I said, "We would love to try to do that, but I don't think that I'm going to have as much success as my father." So he had just finished being athletic director at the time. And I said, "Hey, Dad, why don't you get involved with this?" And he did, and he really got them in there. And to this day, you can see how many people how many athletes have done service. Now, this is prior to NIL.
Sure.
So these guys, I mean, I remember Paul Maneri just closed practice one day, and I went somewhere with the entire team to do to conduct service. They all went to Miracle League. They went to different vetted places, and then we also wanted them to go on their own journey. And then Southern joined in, work done, helped us get through to Southern, and Southern has absolutely been phenomenal. Especially their women's volleyball team. I find, but our baseball team has been great, and they go out to schools, they go out different places, and they still are doing that. And Athletes for Hope University still uses them to talk to kids and youth about their CHAMPS program around mental health and making sure that athletes, about the struggles and for kids that are getting into sports. And I think that it's also one of my favorite organizations too, kind of secretly, but my dad really bonded with this organization because he's always had his teams, conduct service, and it meant a lot to him. So they've clocked a lot of hours in Baton Rouge, and now they're in 11 colleges, and many of them are not, the big NIL colleges, because that does provide a little bit of a different flavor now. So they're adjusting to that.
Laura, it's pretty remarkable. Again, if you want to go to LSUsports.net, they've done a great job here. You'll have done a great job linking these four organizations. You go to the link at LSUsports.net for the Skip Bertman Celebration of Life. All the details are there. When you scroll down, you'll see the direct links where if you want to donate in Skip's honor to Athletes for Hope, the College Baseball Hall of Fame, the LSU Baseball Coaches Committee Baseball Excellence Fund, and the Skip Bertman Leadership Endowed Scholarship that Lori just talked about. The links to donate are all embedded right there. Lori, we're a little short on time, but I'd love if you could, if for the many people that no doubt are gonna flock to the PMAC on Tuesday to celebrate your dad, what can they expect that evening to be like? Because I know you and your family and a lot of former players have worked really hard to put it together.
I think that they can. I think a lot of people will be there, but I think that they can expect to hear from the people who know and have loved Skip the most, and very much from LSU. And they'll, Ben McDonald will be speaking on behalf of the players. I will speak on behalf of the family, but they'll also hear from Jay Johnson, and it will, and then of course Bill Franquez will MC it, because what would it be without Bill Franquez MCing it?
No doubt.
But I think that will be pretty, quick. And what I hope is that what I've heard, and I don't know if you're doing this, but I know a lot of, podcasters and other people are going to be outside trying to get other people's stories about Skip, and just hear talk to people about Skip and what it's meant to them. And I think you'll hear from a little bit more from the family, from our perspective, which, may be a little bit different, but also very positive. So I think it's going to be wonderful. And these folks that are all here, I mean, I really want to thank the Tiger Athletic Foundation for pulling this off and putting these all. I put these together and they put them on their websites. I really wanted to thank them for doing that, and to thank LSU for putting together such a big event for my father. It means the world to myself and my sisters and my nephew Ezra, who is here pacing because. But I think at some point, Matt, he's a good interview. So he is the only chance Skip has to have a baseball guy in the family ever. I mean, he is the only grandson so he'll be with there, but he may be actually a fun interview to come in because he has a lot of really fun Skip stories that even the daughters don't have, because Skip talks differently certainly to guys and people, especially people who are playing baseball.
Lori, let's connect me with Ezra. Would love to, because I know he played for the Rougarou this summer as well, so would love to do that conversation. But Lori, you're a remarkable person. I appreciate so much the time today, and Skip and Sandy did a great job raising you all, and I know there's a ton of people who are very anxious to celebrate your dad and honor Skip's life, and what a life and what a legacy. So
thank you, Matt. Thank you for all you've done and to do, I've been watching you, and thank you for having these guests on and talking about my dad. It's just very nice to watch and been very helpful in the grieving process. So thank you so much.
Lori, we loved Skip too. I mean, he meant so much to all of us, and I think everyone owes it to Skip for the many great memories he gave us to do our small part in preserving his legacy, which is why so many people are going to be very excited to be there Tuesday.
That's great. And one last point is I do want to say I do not benefit from any of these organizations whatsoever. I am only a volunteer. So just want to make that clear.
I don't think it's a point of clarification that was necessary. I think most people understand, but I'm glad you did. But I think the job you've done volunteering for these organizations is remarkable in helping Skip and helping Skip honor his legacy, not only now, but even when you all worked hand in hand on all of them. So, Lori Bertman, thank you for the time. We'll see you on Tuesday, if not before, okay?
Thank you, Matt. Okay.
It's our pleasure. It's after further review. What a day Tuesday's going to be. That's pretty remarkable strength, though. I mean, obviously, they lost. I mean, Lori's mom, Sandy, we all know passed in March of 25. And to lose both your parents in such a short time is, I'm fortunate. I have both my parents. Still have both my grandfathers are both living as well. I mean, I realize as a 44-year-old, very fortunate. That is not lost on me at all. But I'm sure a lot of you can empathize. But Skip was a Titan. I mean, we said it all on Friday, but much more still to be said on Tuesday at the PMAC. We're looking forward to it. Let me grab a break. It's AFR.
AFR.
REV, Rev Fiber. Official internet partner of LSU Athletics, RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com. REV, RevFiber.com. Hey, listen, if you're not thrilled with your internet service, and Lord knows there's a lot of you out there that aren't, we all hear the complaints, whether it's at your home or your office, you got to call Rev. You got to switch. Rev Fiber. And they continue to grow their fiber network. And remember, fiber is buried under the ground, so you don't have to worry about weather or anything disrupting your internet, your cable, any of that stuff, because the cables are buried under the ground. So it's more secure, lightning-fast internet speeds up to 5 gigs. So if you want to see the area that Rev has laid fiber, maybe your neighborhood or where your office building is, you can go to the website, RevFiber.com, R-E-V, RevFiber.com. Lightning-fast internet speeds, home automation, security, phone, cable, they do it all. It's Rev Fiber. Proud partner of LSU Athletics, REV, RevFiber.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new Ram 1500 truck on our lot now with $22,000 off MSRP.
Plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Community sailing is all about getting people in the New Orleans area out on boats, out on Lake Pontchartrain. Gulf Coast Bank helps us provide opportunities to get folks out who might not otherwise have the financial means to come sailing. Auctions in August is an online fundraiser that helps nonprofits like us service the community. Bidding through Auctions in August is a lot of fun because there's so many different items. There's something for everyone, so you're sure to find something that relates directly to you that you'll enjoy bidding on, and you get to help out the community.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product's always customer satisfaction. Come visit us at reliefwindows.com. By the way, we do shutters too.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
On the show text line, Club said, kindergarten grade level, age 5 or 6 for apple juice. Use.
Jeez, that guy sounds like he's no fun. Like, I'm sorry, you can't have apple juice in first grade?
Frederick.
That's brutal.
I stopped by my son apple juice when he was 8.
Kid's loss. That's that kid's loss, man.
Derek. My buddy's dad calls Crown and Sprite apple juice.
That's it. It does taste like it a little bit.
Yakin. When you quit drinking out of sippy cups.
Nah.
Cody says 13. That's closer to you, Muse. It's closer.
You drink what you want to drink,
Closer.
man. Drink what you want.
This guy on the
Do it how
text
you
line
like to.
said 12. Saying Muse.
It's ridiculous.
Just proving a point here that socially, societally, little kids drink apple juice.
Yeah.
Adults don't drink apple juice. I'm not saying no adults. Saying you as a man in his 30s drinking apple juice, you are an outlier. You are an exception. You are not the rule. So don't act like you are in the majority. You are in a vast minority of people who are adult humans that drink apple juice.
Right where I want to be, man.
That's fine.
It's delicious.
You do you. I'm just saying you're in an overwhelming minority, which is not where you started this conversation, thinking that that was a very normal and appropriate thing to do. You may enjoy it, and that's fine. Most people develop a palate as they get older, and they drink things that aren't normally reserved for, the snack just before nap time.
I mean, I do that too. It's not like I drink other things. Like, I currently don't have apple juice at all in my fridge. I don't really have anything in my fridge. You need to go to the store.
We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Proud partner of LSU Athletics. Be on the lookout for the new Relief Windows commercials. They just filmed them in Tiger Stadium. A few pretty hulking freshman defensive linemen were standing with Brandon Holly, a former JUCO center, by the way. So you got the former offensive lineman and the defensive lineman there in that spot. Looking forward to seeing them. You see some of the photos, the behind-the-scenes photos there as well. But the bottom line is, if you need energy-efficient replacement windows, you want to beautify the exterior of your home, add an extra layer of security with those impact-resistant windows, you can do it. All courtesy of Relief Windows, and they never take $1 from you until they're done and you're finished. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Thanks again to Lori Bertman, who just joined us. Went a little long, but it was totally worth it. So we're going to have a quick segment here, Musil do Tigers and the Pros, to wrap up the hour in just a smidge. Ross Jackson's here in 15 minutes with an update from Saints training camp. A lot of you are asking, because I understand this is a story that is developing, and I am very candidly, please do me a favor, Muse. Grab the sound, because I asked Lane Kiffin about this last week. Would you please get Lane Kiffin's answer on this question that I asked? I believe it was last Thursday's press conference, or whatever the day was. We had a presser with Lane last week, maybe Tuesday. Maybe it was Thursday, when I asked him about the 5-for-5 ruling, and his answer in effect was, we consider everything, and every time. And listen, I have asked for weeks now a lot of people around the LSU football program about this potential ruling and players that might be able to come back if they gain eligibility. If you missed it today, Jack Pyburn is one of 16 players who have been granted now a TRO, a temporary restraining order, for a 5th year of eligibility. Now, Jack Pyburn is presently in training camp with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he had 2 sacks in the game against the Jets on Friday. But if he doesn't make the team, this would effectively open the door for him to return to college. There is some ambiguity, however, because as I understand it, and I have reached out to Jack, I've reached out to his family, I'm trying to get some answers on this for you, but as I understand, he did accept a low 6-figure signing bonus from Tampa. And if you accept money, the NCAA rule is very clear that you are no longer eligible. So does this TRO effectively would override that NCAA rule, but the NCAA is still appealing that Colorado judge's ruling. And if the NCAA wins its appeal, in theory, all of these players then would not be eligible. But if the NCAA loses its appeal, it would open the door for players like Jack Pyburn, Xavier Harris, the defensive lineman from Ole Miss, Wydett Williams, the safety from Ole Miss, Daquan Wright, the tight end from Ole Miss, all to potentially, with others, jump back into college football. The other big question that they have is, how many spots at LSU do you have? I was told last week they would have 1 spot available. But if you needed to, you'd make room, if you know what I mean. So there's just so much that's unknown at this point. As we can dig and uncover more, we'll certainly talk about it. But Pete Nakos has that report today about the 16 players, many who have spent time in the NFL now, an extra year of college eligibility. Okay, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Musil do Tigers and the Pros next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty. If you need to sell your home, you need Darren James. Remember, Darren has his guaranteed sale program. It works like this. Call Darren James. I'll give you his cell number in just a second. So get your pen or get your phone out, whatever. Darren's going to take a look at your home. Y'all are going to sit down. He's going to go through the numbers with you. You're going to decide on a price and a deadline. If Darren doesn't sell your home at that price by that deadline, he will have your home bought with cash, or he will sell it for you for free for his half of the commission. And yes, there are people who have collected on this. It is a very real program. Call Darren James and get your home sold. 335-7666. This is Darren's cell. 335-7666. One more time. 335-7666 or agent225.com for Darren James.
Think real estate. Think Darren James.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FMOL Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
We're brought to you by River Parish Contractors. Check out our friends at rpcontractors.com. rpcontractors.com. They are hiring. Tell you every day. Call Big Jake if you're now listen. They had a record-setting Q1. They had a record-setting Q2. And y'all, we are steamrolling toward a record-setting Q3. And what that means for you, if you're looking for work, is they ain't running out of work anytime soon. You know, sometimes it happens where you get hired, and then after a job or a turnaround's done, then you're out of work. Not at River Parish Contractors. They are looking for people because they got jobs to fill. Right now, heavy equipment operators in Geismar and Norco. If you're interested, you want to get more information, you can get it online at rpcontractors.com. rpcontractors.com. Or you can call Big Jake over at River Parish Contractors to get all the deets. You want to work for a great company and be home with your family every single night? It's River Parish Contractors.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Ross Jackson joins us from California in about 10 minutes from right now. Right now, mute. So, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, Cubs and White Sox were tied 3-3 in the bottom of the 9th inning on Tuesday night, and then Alex Bregman stepped to the plate. Bregman with the walk-off single, part of a 2-for-5 day, 2 RBI. Really big night for him there. Kevin Gausman got the start for the Cubs in that game. 4 1/3, 3 earned, struck out 5 in his performance. Grant Taylor on the other side for the White Sox through a shutout inning of relief. Josh Smith did this.
Well hit ball. Deep right field. Gone! Josh Smith with a rocket to right for his second home run as a Blue Jay.
That's right.
His third of the season, and it's 10-3.
That's what we do.
Part of a 10-5 win.
That's what we do, Muse.
Part of a 10-5 win. 2-for-4 night for Smith with the 2 RBI there on the home run. Alex Lang, shutout inning of relief. Love to see that. Tommy White, 1-for-4 in that same ball game with an RBI. Paul Skeens, 3 earned and 4 1/3 here today. 4 walks, 5 punch-outs. That comes after skipping a start. Aaron Nola's on the bump for the Phillies tonight. That's Tigers in the pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. At Lee Michaels, they are in the celebration business, celebrating a birthday like Gordon McKernan, who turned 60 today. I saw it on Facebook. Well, I saw it on the interstate because I saw it on thing, but then I just saw it on Facebook that it is actually today. You want to celebrate an anniversary? You want to celebrate graduation? You want to celebrate a promotion, some big life milestone, celebrate with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 9 locations, 2 in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, online at lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. We are glad you're rolling along with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. We'll get you caught up on national headlines from SportsCenter. When we come back, we're heading to California. Any more fights with the Saints and the Cowboys?
AFR.
Hancock Whitney Bank, the official banking partner of the LSU Tigers and the official banking partner of your New Orleans Saints. HancockWhitney.com/Matt. HancockWhitney.com/MATT. There's many reasons why I have chosen to bank with Hancock Whitney for like literally my entire life, as long as I've had a checking account. The app, which wasn't around whenever I first opened up a checking account with Hancock Whitney, 30 years ago, whenever it was, 35 years ago. But the app is awesome. I love the Hancock Whitney app where I can chart all of my expenses, checking, saving. If you have a handy line of credit on there as well, you could do it. There's different ways that you could send money with other apps as well. You can control things like direct deposit. It shows you your transaction. You can budget on the app as well. It breaks down your spending, your net worth. It's awesome. It's the Hancock Whitney app. Another reason, HancockWhitney.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Faber Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FaberChevrolet.com.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
People ask why I chose to partner with Parrish. The answer is simple: trust. Whether you're choosing teammates, business partners, or the people working on your home or business, choose a company you know and trust. Visit parrishbuilt.com.
Are you ready for an internet experience that actually keeps up with you? Then you're ready to step into a new kind of reliability with Rev Fiber. When your internet works, the possibilities open up, and suddenly everything feels more connected, just the way it should be. Seamless enough to keep up with every swipe and every click, anywhere you are. So leave the buffering behind. 100% fiber, 0% runaround, where support is still personal. Rev Fiber. Visit revfiber.com.
At Southern Classic Chicken, we take pride in serving the freshest, seasoned, and marinated hand-breaded fried chicken. It's so good, it's wrong. Choose from a variety of classic sides like our zesty Cajun seasoned fries, savory red beans and rice, or sweet corn grits. Drive through today and pick up a family box or one of our classic combos and enjoy a true Southern classic. Order online and download our loyalty app to start earning those crispy and juicy rewards. Loyalty matters.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience?
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Even some extra rest wasn't enough for Pirates ace Paul Skeens to pull out of his recent rough stretch. He gave up 3 runs, walked 4 batters in just 4 1/3 innings, pulled after 81 pitches today against the Tigers. 6th time this season he failed to go at least 5 innings. Pittsburgh did rally from a 3-1 deficit thanks to a pair of solo homers from Rafael Flores Jr. Tigers and Pirates tied at 3, bottom 10.
Now they're set in the 1-2. Swing and a drive. Deep right field. If it's fair, the Pirates will win this game. He's done it! Brandon Lowe wins it! What a thrilling come-from-behind win!
Final call on 93.7 The Fan of Pittsburgh's 4-3 victory. NFL Charger center Tyler Biadasz with damage to his ACL and additional injuries to his left knee, sidelined indefinitely, had an MRI. He'll meet with more doctors for additional clarity on the injuries. The Seahawks addressing one of their biggest question marks, plan to sign former Cowboys cornerback Trayvon Diggs to a 1-year contract.
If you run a small business, you've got to try Gusto. Get unlimited payroll runs and get your payroll taxes filed automatically. Offer health insurance, 401k, and more. Get started for free at gusto.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride! Go!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will. Hey, bud.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. We head out to California where we're joined by Ross Jackson. How are you, dude?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
It's our pleasure. Did anybody get DDT'd today? Maybe the flying elbow, the leg drop, the people's elbow, anything like that today?
No, I went out ready to fight today, but nothing happened. Nobody stepped to me. There was nothing available. It was just a nice little walkthrough. Everything was nice and calm for the Saints today. So no continuation of the absolute Royal Rumble that took place yesterday.
That was crazy. Like, why do you even bother with these stupid joint practices when all that happens, people get hurt and fight? That's all that happens. Like, is there a benefit?
I'll tell you what. The benefit is Matt, I don't know how many friends you have that you've gotten in fights alongside, but typically you become really close with those guys.
Yeah.
And so maybe there's a little bit of something there in terms of the camaraderie,
maybe so,
and the chemistry and the team building that comes with it. Okay. But I will say that what Kellen Moore and Brian Schottenheimer did really well is that in between all of the squabbles, the football work that did get done was really good.
Okay, let's talk about what was. We'll get to that in a second. Let's talk about the headline, which is Alvin Kamara. A day after we learn about Jordan Tyson out for 2 months, Kamara is going to be out for a month. Okay, reaction, what does this mean for the Saints offense?
Yeah, I mean, look, it stinks for them when they get to the regular season because obviously they were very much working towards this idea of a tandem running back room that was led by Travis Etienne Jr. and Alvin Kamara. Now that's going to possibly have to wait if he were to miss week 1. I mean, if we look at a month from yesterday, you're looking at beyond week 1 at that point. But the positive side of it is that you do still get him early on in the season. And so, I mean, there's that piece to it. The other thing is that this does give you now an opportunity to really figure out what you're going to do with the rest of that running back room. It seemed like it was getting clearer and clearer as Kendre Miller and Devin Neal remained sidelined. And Audric Estime was, producing well and had a really strong preseason game up until he caught that hit in the flats, and then he had to leave the game himself, and now he's dealing with his own injury. But, as they get Kendre Miller and Devin Neal back, at least this gives you an opportunity to see those guys in a flow with Travis Etienne Jr. and really make sure you're making the right decision in the running back room. You just hate that the way that, that shouldn't be a thing, though, right? Like, it shouldn't be, oh, well, there's an injury, so now you get to see this. Ideally, all of that's coming together with all these guys on the field. So there's not really, like, a real silver lining to all of it. The bottom line is that it stinks, and the Saints are battered and broken and injured again throughout training camp. And so it kind of is what it is at this point for New Orleans. But the I guess the good piece to all of this is that, guys like Kendre Miller and Devin Neal, who just came back from injury yesterday, now get a lot of extra work.
Are they set at running back with the guys they have there that are healthy, or do they need to go try out a few players and bring in a body?
I don't think that they need to really hit the open market at running back. There's not really a lot of those guys available that are going to step in at this point and be difference makers for you anyway. And I don't know that any person that you can pull off of free agency right now is going to be of greater value to you than the guys that have been in the system for a year. Kendre Miller, Devin Neal, Audric Estime. And so I think that they're probably in good shape. I think the addition of Ty Chandler was a good addition, too, because you do get an experienced running back that way and somebody that is going to have a big special teams role, which if you're going to be the third or fourth running back on a roster, you have to be able to contribute on special teams. So I do think that they do have guys in the building. But look, I don't think there's any reason to shy away from the idea that going into the offseason next season, running back's going to be a position of need again for them as they go through. And I think that was going to be the case one way or another if this is going to be Alvin Kamara's last year. But I think after this, it just kind of drives the point home.
Ross Jackson, at Ross Jackson NOLA is where you can get him. Of course, you can read him over at LouisianaSports.net. Listener watch, Locked On Saints. Okay, they did, however, work out a couple of wide receivers with Chase Claypool and Josh Reynolds. Give me a sense here, Ross, of what we should make of this. Just camp bodies, or these guys that might actually have a shot of making the team?
Yeah, I think any wide receiver that you bring in at this point is going to have a really hard time making the team. I think these are guys that are coming in so you have the numbers that you need, and then you give them the opportunity to convince you otherwise, right? Like, you listen if the performance tells you that this is a player that deserves to be on your roster, so it's no disrespect to those players that could potentially be signed that, that they come in and are kind of just looked at as guys to help out during camp, but then, they have the opportunity to prove otherwise. But I think with a draft class of 3 wide receivers, one of which is a candidate to start an injured reserve in Jordan Tyson, you still have 2 guys in Bryce Lance and Barryon Brown behind Chris Olave and Devon Bailey that you feel really good about. And then you have a lot of guys that have experience in your system. This wide receiver group loves Kevin Austin Jr. This coaching staff loves Kevin Austin Jr. Bub Means is having the performance of a lifetime right now. And you've got other guys like Ronnie Bell and others and Palmer who have made some nice strides in recent weeks. And so I think you probably have the guys in the building right now that are going to end up on your active roster. But maybe you bring in somebody for training camp and they convince you to stick around on the practice squad. And then all of a sudden you've got more depth at the position or something to that effect. I think for the most part, though, the guys that are going to make up the active roster going into the season are probably already on.
Okay. A couple more for you. What did they do today?
Today was a walkthrough, so it was mostly just a focus on the logistics of what's going to happen on Saturday. Or not even really the logistics of what's going to happen on Saturday, but just like cleanly getting in and out of plays, the focus on the precision of the routes, things like that, precision on the defensive side, calls, checks, all that kind of stuff. So it was just a little bit of a walkthrough, very slow paced, 1 hour of work, because they had the joint practice that was obviously very physical yesterday. And then now they're going into the joint practice tomorrow against the Rams, which they hope is physical, but maybe not as physical as the Cowboys one was. And so you kind of have this light day in between to kind of help them get ready for the joint practice tomorrow.
Hey, Ross.
Yeah.
Are you on the PCH taking it up to the 10, down to the 40?
Listen, dude. Listen, bro. Listen, dude. I'm on the 101, my guy.
Cruising down the 101. California, here we come. I knew the reason that we were on speaker is because that California Highway Patrol catch you with a phone on your ear, brother. They are throwing you under the jail.
I'm not coming home. There's no way. There's no way. I would again be both the permanent resident and property of the state of California.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. All right. Anything else that we should know before tomorrow's joint practice?
I think right now one of the other positions to keep an eye out on is going to be cornerback for this team. Obviously, Quincy Riley's entrenched. He's the starting guy there. But I'm sorry, Kool-Aid McKinstry. And Quincy Riley came in as the starter, but right now is dealing with his own injury. He's got a groin injury. He left practice early yesterday against the Cowboys. And so now you're going to really be testing this depth of the cornerback room, which has been a big conversation all offseason. It's an experienced line of depth, but, the question mark about, okay, what happens if you have to call upon one of these guys is about to be answered. So I would expect, even with the institutional experience and knowledge that Isaac Yiadom has, and that the Saints have of Isaac Yiadom, that maybe Martin Emerson Jr. could potentially be the guy that jumps into the starting lineup or the first team opposite Kool-Aid McKinstry. I think both will probably get practice reps, but I'll be very curious to see if Martin Emerson is the guy that does that. He was a late add for the Saints in free agency, and he's a guy that really has impressed here recently. Had like 4 pass breakups and an interception in practice last week at one point, and had really strong game in the preseason as well. So Martin Emerson Jr., number 22, is definitely going to be somebody to keep an eye out on during these joint practices, and then potentially if he hits the field as well against the Rams in the preseason on Saturday.
He is Ross Jackson. You can read stuff over at LouisianaSports.net. Listen or watch Locked on Saints podcast, YouTube, and of course he's at Ross Jackson NOLA. Thank you, man.
Thank you, bud. Take care, stay safe. Talk to you guys soon.
You be safe driving down the PCH. Oh,
man, on the 101.
There's crazy Californians out there, man. Thanks, dude. We'll see you. All right.
See you,
that's Ross Jackson. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills. Of course, if you're cruising down the PCH to the 1 to hop on the 2 to the 10, you got to have good tires. If you're not familiar, it's a skit called The Californians from Saturday Night Live. If you've never seen it, just go to YouTube, type in The Californians, SNL, and you'll get it. Shaw Bills, Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Locations all over South Louisiana, name brand tires at wholesale prices. If you're crazy and you're driving your vehicle out to California, you better have new tires. You better make sure the oil's changed. You better make sure the alignment's good. You better make sure that thing's running tip-top shape. Bring it to Shaw Bills. They're going to treat you like family. They'll sell you the best tires on the road at the cheapest price. They'll keep you coming back because they treat you like family. It's Shaw Bills. Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. All right, thanks to Ross for hanging out with us here. The big story of the day, if you have not heard, Pete Nakos was the first to have it earlier today, that 16 players, some who have NFL experience, have been granted a TRO, a temporary restraining order, in their eligibility case against the NCAA, one of them being former LSU edge rusher Jack Pyburn. So Jack Pyburn could potentially have the opportunity to return to college football. Again, we'll fill you in on some of these details. If you haven't heard the latest, we'll get you caught up. There's a story up at LouisianaSports.net. By the way, written by our newest contributor and our editor, William Weather. So William, longtime sports writer in the state of Louisiana, joined our team over at LouisianaSports.net literally yesterday, signed the paperwork, and today his first story is about Jack Pyburn. I think it's going to do pretty well, pretty big numbers there. So anyway, we're welcome. We're glad to have William Weathers on our team, and you'll be able to follow along with William's writing as well over at LouisianaSports.net. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll continue on AFR.
After further review.
GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. Complete employer solutions, that's Glow Resources. Again, GLO, glowresources.com. And, I say it all the time that while home base is right there on Perkins near Pennington's, Perkins and Quail Oak, that's where their corporate office is. They literally help businesses all over the country fill all different types of jobs. There's a company in Florence, South Carolina that needs a carpenter. There's a company in Houston that needs a process improvement engineer. There's a company that in Sanford, North Carolina, that needs an excavator operator. And then there's a convenience store supervisor in Gonzales. There's a combo welder fitter in Darrow. You understand the point. All over the country, all different types of jobs, skilled blue-collar labor, any type of office job in their professional placement division. If you need the right people, you need Glow resources.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new Ram 1500 truck on our lot now with $22,000 off MSRP.
Plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When a capital project moves from planning to execution, downtime isn't an option. Who do you trust to deliver? River Parish Contractors has more than 500 employees, dedicated safety, quality, and project management teams, and 9 full-time estimators backed by a 36,000 square foot automated pipe and structural steel fabrication facility. We can deliver multi-million-dollar industrial construction projects on time and safely. Locally owned and headquartered in South Louisiana. We're River Parish Contractors, and we're built for bigger challenges.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FMOL Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
I've been in banking for over 35 years. I usually start about 7:30 in the morning, and I usually leave somewhere around 5, or if customers need me to meet them at their house or their business places, I don't mind going after hours. I have done churches, subdivisions, retail centers.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
All right, I'm going to try to do this. I got a text from Drex who said, I wish someone could explain to me the eligibility rules like I'm 5 years old because I thought he couldn't come back at all, meaning Jack Pyburn. Okay, I'm going to try to do this like you're 5 years old. Okay, you know how you just finished preschool and had to go to kindergarten? Well, when you go to kindergarten, you can't go back to preschool. Well, the preschool changed their rules, and now you can go back to preschool for another year. But there's some people who don't think you should be able to go back to preschool for another year. So they're trying to decide right now who wins, the ones that want you to or the ones that don't want you to go back to preschool. But the person that wants you to be able to go back to preschool just said it's okay. What do you think?
It's a good analogy, yeah. Yeah, it about sums it up.
Okay, that's like your 5. Let me try to go with a little more nuance, because I think we could probably graduate a little beyond that comparison. Okay. I'm going to try to... This is... this is complex. And there is a lot of ambiguity. So I am very sympathetic to that. And I have a really good grasp of what is happening, like where we are, but I don't know what is going to happen. But I know there's two things we're watching. So let me go back and I'll try to explain. If you're not sure what we're talking about, today 16 former college football players were granted a TRO, a temporary restraining order, which allowed them to come back to college football. One of them is Jack Pyburn. It's complicated because Pyburn's playing for the Bucs right now, and he took money as a signing bonus, and the NCAA said that's a no-no. So let me go back, and I'll catch you up. So the NCAA recently approved their 5-for-5 policy. And please stop me. I'm dead serious. Please stop me if at some point this doesn't make sense. Okay? So the NCAA approved their 5-for-5 policy. There are no more red shirts. There's no more medicals. There's no more exceptions. Like, there's no more COVID years. Like, everybody, you have 5 years to play 5 years. From the time you graduate high school or when you turn 18. 5 to play 5. That's it for everybody. And so you don't have to worry about, well, he played the maximum of 4 games. Or no. Everybody gets 5 to play 5. But that doesn't start until this year. Some have argued that the seniors that just graduated should get that 5th year. A judge in Colorado agreed and gave a blanket waiver to all the kids who were the signees from the class of 2022 who had eligibility remaining. So if you redshirted if you have eligibility remaining, you have that 5th year, you can come back. So the 2022 players who aren't like already in like Kelvin Banks, for example, the Saints left tackle. Kelvin Banks is the left tackle for the Saints. He was a 2022 kid. Like, he's not leaving the Saints coming back, okay? But Jack Pyburn played his 4 seasons of college, went undrafted. He's in camp with the Bucs. Well, Jack got a TRO, a temporary restraining order, to be able to come back. Now, it's complex. I'll get to that in a second. So all of the 2022 players who played 4 years, were out of eligibility, were basically told, all right, by this judge in Colorado, blanket waiver, you can all come back. The NCAA said, no. They can't all come back. Because if there are players who took money or played pro or violate whatever of our rules, like, they can't come back. So the NCAA is appealing that ruling, trying to say, no, those players cannot come back. But a lot of them who weren't in the NFL, who weren't playing professionally, they're already with their teams. You've seen some of the stories. Arizona brought back 2 starters, like their running back. Indiana's brought back a couple of starters. Georgia added a guy. Mississippi State's added some guys. Like, this is something that's happening. Like, a lot of players who thought their careers were over because they played 4 years of college, they get this injunction from the judge in Colorado, and they're like, okay, I can play. And so they're practicing right now, getting ready for a season. Well, there's other players like Pyburn who it's a little more ambiguous. So what's going to happen from now until the start of the season, 2 things to keep an eye on. We really don't know the time frame or timetable that's going to happen. So this TRO would allow Jack Pyburn, if he wanted to, he could leave because of this temporary restraining order. He could leave Tampa Bay right now and come back and play at LSU today. He could. Same like with Charles Bediako. Remember the Alabama basketball player who was in the G League and then went back to Bama and played like 5 games? He got a TRO. He got a temporary restraining order. And while played under that TRO. Well, the NCAA said, oh, no. The NCAA appealed and won. And so Charles Bediako had to leave. That's effectively what's happening right now. Pyburn is one of 16 players today that got a TRO. So he could join LSU today. Now, he's not going to because he's playing for the Tampa Bay Bucs. He had 2 sacks on Friday against the Jets. So what we're waiting on right now is the NCAA's appeal to be heard. Like the NCAA won its appeal against Charles Bediako. The NCAA won their appeal against Joey Aguilar. That's why Joey Aguilar is in the NFL right now. The NCAA lost its appeal against Trinidad Chambliss, which is why Chambliss is playing for Ole Miss. So what we don't know, like the NCAA is appealing this judge in Colorado's ruling. If the NCAA wins the appeal, then all of these players who currently have eligibility because of the judge in California or in Colorado, if the NCAA wins their appeal, then these players are out. They're done. If the NCAA loses its appeal, then all these players can play in 2025 and here in the 2026 season. The next obvious question is, okay, when's the appeal? I don't know. Like, the court system can be notoriously slow. Like, how quickly can this appeal be heard? I don't know. But the dates to keep in mind, one is in 11 days, August the 30th. That's cut day in the NFL. It used to be that they would cut the roster after each preseason game. Now they have one cut day. It's August the 30th. So on August the 30th, every team is going to cut their roster to 53. And so there will be a gigantic pile of players who get cut by their NFL team that are going to look, okay, can I go back to school and play and get paid? Well, it depends if this appeal is heard in time or not, or when the appeal is heard. So that's really the two things. One date we know, which is the cut day in the NFL. The other is when is the NCAA's appeal going to be heard? And I don't know the answer. None of us do. But until that appeal is heard, all these players today were basically said, yeah, you can go play. So let's say the appeal isn't heard until December, which I don't think will happen, but because maybe they fast track it, like they did with Bediako and some of the others. But what if the appeal isn't heard until December and Jack Pyburn gets cut by the Bucs? Theory he could come back and play for LSU with this TRO. Now, the other part that is really complicated is when the judge in Colorado issued her ruling, there was a clarification afterwards that said you still have to abide by NCAA rule. And NCAA rule says you can't accept money. Well, Jack Pyburn's accepted money. So it makes this even more ambiguous as to whether or not he would actually be able to win an appeal. So it's complex, but what I do know is if you're looking at position groups that would make sense for LSU to add players, a player or players, the defensive line is at the top. That is my single biggest concern on this team. Like, you've got two guys in Prince Willuman-Mielen and Jordan Ross. And look, Ross hasn't been out there the last two practices. But Willuman-Mielen is a proven SEC player. He's a fifth-year player who led Ole Miss in sacks and TFLs last year. He's a proven SEC commodity. Jordan Ross was a top 10 recruit, but he's been a backup for 2 years at Tennessee. After that, it's Dylan Carpenter, who's in his fourth year and has only been a special teamer, and a true freshman in Lamar Brown. Gabe Relaford's done for the year. Basically, the only player at that position, with skins on the wall is Willuman-Mielen. Ross ain't done nothing, although he's got a huge ceiling. Lamar Brown, huge ceiling, but a true freshman. Dylan Carpenter, his fourth year in the program, but has been limited to special teams. You've got Kalaj Cobbins, and you got young guys like Trenton Henderson. I mean, you just don't have any skins on the wall at that position outside of Willuman-Mielen. So if you could add Jack Pyburn, who played 4 years of college football, 3 at Florida and 1 at LSU, of course. I mean, that makes you instantly better at maybe your thinnest position. I mean, look, they just moved Jaden Breaker from linebacker to edge to have another body over there to give him that skill set. Blake Baker talked about that position on Friday.
I think I've seen a lot of growth out of some guys, really from, when you look at Jordan Ross, when you look at P. Will, they just got here in the spring, how much they've already grown. Dylan Carpenter is a guy that, he's absolutely been outstanding. When you talk about where he came in as a freshman to where he is now, You don't see that much anymore because a lot of times they'll leave before that. But, man, I can't be more complimentary of him and Lamar Brown. And we, Kalaj Cobbins is another guy. So I feel good about our depth. I think we have some really good explosion off the edge as well. And they're all complimentary of each other. Some guys have really good strengths in one area compared to another. So we're going to be able to play around with those weapons.
You can talk about growth and development, excitement for all those guys, but again, you're talking about a lot of unknown. Pyburn would add immediately a known commodity at that position, who, by the way, we saw last year play both edge and kick inside and play tackle, who's very good against the run, gives you another veteran physical body. It would be huge. That would be huge if you could add a player like Jack Pyburn at that position. Daquan Wright is one of those players as well, the tight end from Ole Miss who had over 600 receiving yards. And you have Trey'Dez Green, who's a preseason All-American. After Trey'Dez Green, again, it's similar. Like, you don't have depth. I mean, Malachi Thomas spent 2 years at Pitt, and he caught – hang on, I'm going to tell you the exact number right now. I'm going to do this on the fly. But Malachi Thomas last year at Pitt caught 13 passes for 192 yards. And he didn't record a statistic in 2024. So in 2 years, he's caught 13 passes. And then you got a freshman in J.C. Anderson. Zach Grace is the fourth-year player coming in from Oregon. But remember, he did not record a statistic a year ago. He is an H-back. He's a blocker. I mean, you had Daquan Wright. That's another weapon in the offense who knows the offense. I mean, think about the plug-and-play, how Winnie Watkins was plug-and-play in the spring. Daquan Wright would be the same. So, I mean, this could be just massive. I mean, this could be extremely significant if this all comes to pass. So, we still have to wait on the NCAA's appeal to be heard, and we don't have a court date set for that yet. But when that happens, this was a big step in moving in that direction. Pete Nakos earlier today had it was this morning. I'm trying to get you. Forgive me. It was this morning. I'm looking for the tweet. Here, this was it. It said NFL cut day is Sunday, August 30th, days before the start of week 1 of college football. The NCAA is still waiting on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 10th Circuit to rule on its stay in the Wisney, Colorado suit. So we're waiting on that ruling. The 10th Circuit, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 10th Circuit to rule on the NCAA's appeal. All right, it's after. I hope that helped. Did I do a good job of that? I don't need validation, but did that make sense?
Yeah, no, as much sense as it can make.
Okay. Like I understand, and I know I need a break, but it's, when I tell you, like, I have bothered every damn body in that football building who might have something to do with this to try to get information about who they're scouting, who they're looking at, who would be position groups, could it happen? And it's just, I know this much. This is what I can tell you definitively. That player personnel staff has looked at every damn body. Everybody who could potentially have eligibility, they have a list together and a scouting. I know that much. And they ain't saying a word about who they're interested in or what direction they may take this. But if that door is opened, I think LSU will add a player or players. All right, it's AFR.
After further review.
Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Remember, ED treatment, hormone replacement therapy, peptides, they do it all. If you want to live your best, most optimal life, friends over at Goodwood can help. Lowest prices, never any contracts. Let me say it again. Lowest prices, never any contracts. Maybe you're already on hormone replacement therapy. Great. I have been for years as well. It's life-changing. I can't imagine an aging male not going to get your levels checked to see if you could live a fuller, more vital, happier life with more energy, mental clarity, better libido, build muscle, burn fat, like all the things, clear brain fog, sleep better at night, all those things. If you're already on HRT and you're not with Goodwood, you're probably overpaying. There's no contracts. There's no membership fees. They pick up the cost on your blood labs every 6 months. What are you waiting on? YourGoodwood.com.
Ever wonder why cane sauce doesn't come in a pre-sealed packet? It's because it's made fresh inside every Raising Cane's every single day. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Community sailing is all about getting people in the New Orleans area out on boats, out on Lake Pontchartrain. Gulf Coast Bank helps us provide opportunities to get folks out who might not otherwise have the financial means to come sailing. Auctions in August is an online fundraiser that helps nonprofits like us service the community. Bidding through Auctions in August is a lot of fun because there's so many different items. There's something for everyone, so you're sure to find something that relates directly to you that you'll enjoy bidding on, and you get to help out the community.
At Southern Classic Chicken, we take pride in serving the freshest seasoned and marinated hand-breaded fried chicken. It's so good, it's wrong. Choose from a variety of classic sides like our zesty Cajun seasoned fries, savory red beans and rice, or sweet corn grits. Drive through today and pick up a family box or one of our classic combos and enjoy a true Southern classic. Order online and download our loyalty app to start earning those crispy and juicy rewards. Loyalty matters.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product's always customer satisfaction. Come visit us at reliefwindows.com. By the way, we do shutters too.
The Ascension.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Nathan Board on the text line said they give you apple juice in preschool. Is Musso trying to get another year of eligibility?
I would love another year of eligibility. I would love that. I'd love another year of eligibility.
You want to go back to preschool?
Why not,
You want to hang out with 4-year-olds?
I don't necessarily want to hang out with them, but I mean...
That's what you would be doing in preschool. You'd be hanging out with 4-year-olds.
Color all day, take a nap.
I don't think you realize how loud they are, and some of them are not potty trained.
I was in preschool once. I don't remember much of it,
That's
though.
the point. You don't remember it. My mom taught preschool for a while. And so as a school-age kid, I remember, like, 8th grade, going to the preschool, like, after school, walking over to the preschool. Your mom would drive us home, seeing the kids and being like, wow, this is a terror. God bless the people who run preschool. Andy said, Matt, where I'm confused, how does the NCAA have any say on eligibility in D1 football? They don't govern the championship. The championship is put on by the College Football Playoff, a non-NCAA entity. Correct, Andy. The NCAA doesn't govern the championship. They do, however, govern the sport up until the championship. which is why college football is stupid. I love college football, but I can objectively say that is stupid. But yes, remember, the NCAA is the governing body for college football. Like, they are the ones they are the enforcement arm. They set and enforce the rules that are collectively agreed upon by the membership. And then whenever they get to the postseason, college football collectively outsources its postseason. But things like eligibility, all of the member institutions agree to be governed by the NCAA. It's the thing that I've sat here and railed on during this whole era with all this stuff, is everyone complains that it's lawless, it's the Wild Wild West, there's no rules. No. There are rules, you just don't want to follow them. And then you bitch when everybody doesn't follow the rules. Well, follow the rules. One of my most, strongest points of contention through this whole thing has been the adults in the room, the university presidents have the solution. You've got an NCAA rulebook right there. Collectively agree and say, you're not going to sue the NCAA for eligibility. They ruled you ineligible. We agree to be an NCAA member institution. We agree to abide by their rule book. They ruled you're ineligible. Get your ass to the pros. Good luck. But they don't do that because they want to win. And so they're willing to break every rule and let a judge determine. Ole Miss Trinidad Chambliss. LSU Jack Pyburn if he comes back. LSU RJ Lewis. Everybody's doing it. Yeah, they are. Don't bitch about not having rules, because there's rules. You just don't want to follow. What if he comes back and plays for, this is from Richard. What if he comes back, plays for LSU, but the NCAA wins an appeal mid-season? Does LSU have to forfeit the games he plays in? Good question, Richard. No, I actually did ask, I forget who. It was one of the attorneys we had on the show because I asked that very question. Who was it? It had to be Jeff. It was probably Jeff Watson at Gordon's office that we talked to. Anyway, the point is, with that ruling, is I hope I'm saying this right. The TRO, or the injunction, does not allow the entity, in this case the NCAA, to be punitive against a student athlete. So otherwise, what's the point of going to court? So they would not be allowed to punish the school for playing the student athlete while they had the injunction. I asked the same question. See if I can get to maybe one or two more here. Oh, this is actually a football question. You always text me, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Kyle said, Matt, what's the week one wide receiver depth chart look like if you had to decide today? I appreciate the football question, Kyle. Thank you. I'll tell you that in a second. Let me remind you about the Williamson Eye Center. WilliamsonEye.com, WilliamsonEye.com. You want to see 2020, call 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. Dr. Blake Williamson, he's the best, not my opinion, quite literally. It's why he flies all over the world to lecture and put on conferences and things like that, because he brings first-of-their-kind procedures in the world to Baton Rouge. Dr. Blake went and got a world-class education in New York, I think at Johns Hopkins, it was in London, and went all over the world, got this world-class education, and came back home to Baton Rouge. And so if you want options beyond just LASIK, they've got them at the Williamson Eye Center. You want to see 2020, call 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com, WilliamsonEye.com. Chris said, does he have to go to LSU or can he go to any school? He can go to any school. That's what the judge in Colorado said, was they could come back to college and go to any school. So, I'm sorry, that was the judge in Georgia who said that. So, in theory, you could go anywhere. We did a story today where there was an all Ivy League player from Dartmouth who's going to Arkansas under this new thing. But think of it this way. Let me just use Jack Pyburn. I'll answer the receiver question in a second. if you're Jack Pyburn, and let's say hypothetically Jack gets cut by the Bucs on August 30th. That's 6 days before LSU plays Clemson. Now he's in football shape, right? Where are you going to go and get up to speed in 6 days? You played in this defense last year. Same coaches, same terminology, same everything. Like, you could just come right back in seamlessly. All right, the question about the receivers. I think we have very clearly seen the line of demarcation with the receiver room. Jackson Harris from Hawaii, Winnie Watkins from Ole Miss, and then Malik Elzy and Jace Brown, I think, are battling for one of those spots. I think they both play. And don't be surprised if Elzy takes the first snap if you want a bigger-bodied receiver on the field. And then Trey Wilson, the former 5-star from Florida. He just has this explosive ability. Just those are your 5. Remember, Lane said he wants 4 to 6 receivers to emerge. They brought in 9 transfers, 3 freshmen. You retained Phillip Wright. So you got 13 scholarship receivers. Of those 13, Lane wants 4 to 6 that he feels like he can rotate. Well, it's Harris, Watkins, Brown, Elzy, and Jace Brown, Elzy, and Trey Wilson. And then Trey Dez on top of that. So those will be the 6 that are your primary pass catchers this year. Okay, it is after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Hump Day Edition brought to you by our friends over at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Jimmy's going to be here for Otter Locks in just a quick second. Kyle said if LSU has a Heisman finalist, does Jaden Daniels narrate the hype video? I am hopeful that Jaden Daniels and LSU reconcile. He's one of the greatest players in program history. They need to get on the same accord, and Jaden needs to apologize, and we all need to proceed with good vibes and honoring Jaden rightly as one of the greatest players in the history of the program. Otter Locks is next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. I tell you every day, buy local, shop local, bypass the big box store, and support a great local business that not only supports our show, but that has supported the community for 6 decades. It's Clegg's Nursery. Y'all, they got full greenhouses. So you want these, I'm looking at the photos that and every time they get new shipments in, they post on Facebook. So you can always see what they have in posting on Facebook. Like, just go to their Facebook page and you'll see these enormous, full, beautiful, lush greenhouses filled with so many options to beautify your outdoor spaces. And remember also, if you're a hunter, they have buckbusters, mobucks, and deer corn all in right now at all 4 Clegg's Nursery locations. It's Clegg's Nursery.
Bayou Ford has 0% APR with no payments for 90 days and $1,000 down payment assistance on select 2026 Ford models.
Plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
People ask why I chose to partner with Parrish. The answer is simple: trust. Whether you're choosing teammates, business partners, or the people working on your home or business, choose a company you know and trust. Visit parrishbuilt.com.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Shaw & Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power. and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
I've been in banking for over 35 years. I usually start about 7:30 in the morning, and I usually leave somewhere around 5, or if customers...
I love eating at Supper Club. And I love everything at Supper Club. It's one of those rare places where you could quite literally order anything on the menu and have the best version of that you've ever had in your life. The bluefin tuna poke is my favorite cold appetizer. It's diced bluefin tuna, an Asian pear. It's marinated for 1 to 2 hours in a sesame soy honey and furikake seasoning. It's served on a bed of diced avocado with crispy wontons. I'm telling you, when that sets the tone for the entire meal, and then comes the one-of-a-kind steak experience, the delectable sides, the incredible wine library, the great cocktails. Oh, yeah. And either the butter cake or the creme brulee that's as big as your torso that they come with a giant flamethrower to torch at tableside. Nothing better. SupperClubBTR.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on this Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otterlocks.
Otterlocks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otta, what up?
What's up, Matthew?
Just trying to explain to people if Jack Pyburn's going to be able to come back to college after playing in the NFL and why that might happen or not happen and weird stuff. Weird day. It's a weird day.
Never signed a contract, did he?
He did. He's playing. He's playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now, and he took a signing bonus.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I know Indiana's got their top defensive lineman back from last year who was celebrating, got hurt and out for the playoffs, celebrating their Big Ten championship with the fans. So he's back. They're all good. And our boy Luis has got I think a favorable matchup with the Judge on Monday. We'll see how that goes in the first day of class on the basketball side. So I feel good about his chances of getting eligibility as well. And I'll take it. So
okay. I just get sick of people complaining about there being no rules when there's plenty of rules. Just nobody wants to follow them. They just go to court and sue. Don't bitch about there being no rules. There's rules. You just don't want to follow them.
The NCAA is a little bit weak right now. So anyway, let's get to the baseball right now. They're underway in Camden Yards. We're going to go with Baltimore to bounce back against New York Yankees. One of your unsung heroes is pitching for the Yankees. I respect that. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game because the Yankees are struggling with the bats. But we're going to take Baltimore plus 108 in that one. Taking Chase Burns in the Cincinnati Reds. St. Louis minus 128. St. Louis has been hot, but the Cincinnati should even up this 4-game series. Burns has been phenomenal from out of Tennessee and Wake Forest, so just getting better and better. Milwaukee won 22-0 last night over Seattle with minus 110. A lot of sharp action on Seattle, sort of the pride angle for them to step back a little bit and try and get back on track. But minus 110, no comparison in two lineups right now. Give us Milwaukee minus 110 at cheap price there. We're going to take a shot. We go one run short of free tacos. We did hit the under on the losing night. The over last night in Coors Field. Colorado plus 180 against the Dodgers. Maybe way closer to first pitch. It should only get higher. Colorado plus the 180 with Kyle Freeland. And then the Anaheim Angels, Los Angeles Angels, Urania. We rode him last time. He won 7-0 last time out against the Houston Astros. And plus 142 against Houston. They beat him last night. First-time starter for the Astros tonight. He's in Petco. We're going to take the Angels plus 42. A couple of big dogs in there to close things out.
You got to get them early at the website. The Orioles are already up 1-0 on the Yanks in the bottom of the first. So that's at minus $1.79 now. The plays are the Orioles, the Reds, the Brewers, Rockies, and Angels. You can always get them for free over at LouisianaSports.net. Where are you tomorrow?
Original walk-ons, Randy McKay, Colucci time, Hanny, Matt, Delicano. The whole fam is there.
Must be football season. All right,
Yes,
original
indeed.
walk-ons tomorrow and every day 11 to 1, live at lunch, Otter and Handy. Thank you, Otter.
Good luck.
All right, man, we'll see you. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. We're getting on down the road. I'm about to walk out in the parking lot, hopping in my Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. Jet black with them blacked out rims and black leather. Love it. Go find yours today at South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? All right, it's going to do it for us here. Use Paulie, thanks. Y'all have an awesome night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
We're getting on down the road. Remember, if you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Really, it's easy to emphasize the word first. Talk about they were first in agriculture. They've been doing that, helping Louisiana farmers buy land since 1916. Ben McDonald, the first pick of the MLB draft, his first call when he wanted to buy his hunting property in Mississippi was First South Farm Credit. By the way, did you see Ben's photo with the rattlesnake? Oh, my God. Woo! No, thank you. But you out there getting them deer plots ready, might run into a little slithery friend that's not so friendly. But you can only do it if you own that piece of land. And First South Farm Credit can make it happen. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to FirstSouthFarmCredit.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
When a capital project moves from planning to execution, downtime isn't an option. Who do you trust to deliver? River Parish Contractors has more than 500 employees, dedicated safety, quality, and project management teams, and 9 full-time estimators backed by a 36,000 square foot automated pipe and structural steel fabrication facility. We can deliver multi-million-dollar industrial construction projects on time and safely, locally owned and headquartered in South Louisiana. We're River Parish Contractors, and we're built for bigger challenges.
My name is Mike Krumholt, and I've been with First American Bank for 4 years. What makes First American Bank special is we're able to offer all the products and services that any other big bank can offer. What sets us apart is being able to give that small town feel that someone can pick up the phone and they can talk to someone or stop by the branch and get excellent customer service.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.